Hello everyone and welcome back for a somewhat impromptu Factorio space exploration stream because I got so close to finishing last night and I just want to get that last little bit of it done. I also seem to be slightly disorganized. Let's get over there. We go. That's everything open so properly as it should be, so I can hopefully see chat. Okay, so yes, yesterday. Well, I made this airship. So, yes, we shall see what happens now. Hopefully things will go a little bit better because again, I'm doing this energy weapons damage, and I'm going to get that properly done this time before I fly off. Although I do have a little bit of a confession to make. So earlier today, at about lunchtime, I thought I'd take it out for another quick spin, and this was based on something that somebody was asking yesterday, and I can't remember who it was, so I apologise for that. But we're talking about is it whether Factorio is completely deterministic, and if you did save scum with, you'd see exactly the same asteroids again. So I thought I'd try and find out about that. So I did. I went out there with and save scummed it and flew around and basically went and sort of set off. And every 100 seconds I saved it. And so of course the ship successfully made it, everything perfect without any problems, and I completed the game. So that clearly doesn't count because I didn't do it on stream. So I've abandoned that save scum save, and I'm now going to give it another go. But I thought that was interesting and vaguely worth mentioning. So my ship is just about capable of it, it turns out, but only just about, so not sufficiently close to it. Right. So what I need to do, and I had a little bit of a look into this as well. Yeah, so energy weapons has basically stops about 2/3 of the way through, or something, or no, 90 something percent of the way through, because it runs out of, I believe, yes, Deep Space Science Pack 1, which is the one that comes along here. And the reason it runs out of Deep Space Science Pack 1 is because this machine here runs out of Naquium. So I've got a tiny little bit of more Naquium that I need in order to get that finished. Now I could possibly complete it by just extending this a little bit and putting in an inserter over here, but that's a little bit of a half-assed wasp name. So I thought, okay, why do I not have any Naquium? So I looked here, well, this ship is unloading but unable to unload because these are all full. Why are there no ships here? Well, I eventually tracked that all the way back to Tulip. It turns out over here, well, the ship is stuck there. It's not. None of this is happening. None of this is happening because why is this not happening? Well, this isn't being made. We're not making the vitalic acid. We're not making the vitalic acid because there's no sulfuric acid, and we're not making the sulfuric acid because I can't follow this pipe properly. It comes down to here because there's no iron coming in. Okay, so there's no iron coming in because there's no iron ore coming in. There's no iron ore coming in because the iron mine, which is right here conveniently, is completely is out of iron in the mine area. So all we've got is what's left over in the station. So there's going to be a quick and dirty fix, which is to get this train here. And I did this yesterday actually in one right at the end. So you probably remember this. Send it to here and then to here and say wait there for a time. 30 seconds is probably sufficient. Then go up to here. Unfortunately, it puts that in there, which is very unhelpful. So still go there. Still go to iron ore pick. No, still. Wait, what? Yeah, iron ore pickup. I don't even know if I've got the temporary stations right around. Let's get rid of both of those. Go to iron ore pickup. So it's going to go there. Then, where is it? Is it nearly there yet? Yes, it is. Well, no, not very. So I need to do that, but actually go there first and then do that. Right, let's try and get this to work, and then go to here. And at this point, we're going to do an unload. So we want to empty cargo completely. And so that should make this train come in here like that, fill up with iron ore, or at least I say fill up with iron ore. It's going to collect some iron ore. Then it's going to head up, drop that off, and we'll be able to get a little bit more sulfuric acid and therefore a little bit of naquium through. Now, I'm sort of debating with myself whether I should come over here and, well, either put in a new iron mine, which is going to be a fairly big job. In fact, finding an iron patch is going to be a fairly big job. There doesn't seem to be a lot of iron on this planet. Alternatively, and possibly more sensibly, I could put in another rocket landing pad down here to bring in the iron and just have it unload like all these and pass it up on a really, really long belt. That's probably more sensible or more likely to work. But let's see how much we get out of this first, because we've got a little bit of this available. Why have you... Oh, yeah, stop there because the temporary station. That's fine. I'm okay with that. So the train parks in here, unloads the iron ore. Iron ore comes around. We'll make it into iron, and we'll get a little bit more naquium made, and hopefully that'll be enough to launch this ship and maybe get me a decent amount more. I don't really know, but that's a good start at least. And while that's happening, so that's temporarily fixed. So let's see how that does. Because actually, that said, I would quite like to get. I'm doing this one it would be quite nice to then do this. That is 12. Oh, no, it'd be quite nice to do number 12 as well, which is exactly the same science packs. So, I don't know. Let's add it in the queue and see how much of it happens. How many is that as well? 12,000, so it's quite a lot. Okay. Um, so maybe I should go over there with a landing pad. In fact, I could go over there with this landing pad. I don't use it anymore, but it's probably going to break some cabling if I do. Hey Mark, welcome back. I just want to get this finished, so I thought I'd do another impromptu stream, and then maybe go over and join the other guys in Minecraft later if I feel like it. Ooh, I've got a lot of these I'm not replace taking these what do we call them? It's dirty life support pods back to Norvis and get them refilled. That's probably very naughty of me. There's a crazy number of them up here. He says, look and see what the crazy number actually is. I can't see them on the display on the left. Oh, 3,000. That is quite a lot. Okay. You know what? Let's get the bots to do it. Bring me a rocket launch pad. Rocket landing pad. Cargo landing pad. Bring me one of them. There aren't any. Okay, all right. I will take this one then. I just hope nothing else breaks from me taking that. So yeah, let's nip over to Tulip because I more or less can nip. Nope, overshoot. I more or less can nip now. It doesn't take that long to get there with these ships because it's a reasonably easy one to get to, and a reasonably small planet, so I shouldn't have too much trouble taking off. And I do have full fuel, so I'm not going to get stranded there this time. Right. Oh, I didn't bring belts. Should have brought belts. There's a lot of space belts in here. And I've got 375 blue belts. I'll probably be all right. Okay, so we're off to do a little bit of yak shaving, as is always the way. But if I drop this in, then it should mean I then have plenty of. Oh, thank you. Oh well, I'll turn it back on again now. Yes, I remember I turned it off earlier because the bots were bringing me stuff when I didn't really want it. And by earlier, I mean yesterday. Okay, so we'll buzz out to Tulip, get that sorted. I think I'm probably going to put it in down here, just so I've got somewhere to dump the rocket parts, like here, and then attempt to run the belt all the way up here, and then probably in here somewhere. Shouldn't be too hard, except that one's glass. Anyway, yeah, I can wend it in up there. That's not going to be difficult. But now we have acid being made again, so that means eventually we have a little bit of naquim starts to flow through, and we start to make that again, so that's good. Was there anything else I wanted to do? Oh yeah, energy representation, iron on Tulip. Yeah, so those are the main things. Those are the most important things. And I think that 79% is where it kept getting to yesterday, and it got stuck there every time. So this is my limit. How far away am I? Less than a minute. Okay, good. So we don't have far to go. And then we can go back to everyone's favourite pastime of staring at the victory ship while it attempts to fly for 10 minutes solid without anything stupid happening. Which is well, we all know how well that went yesterday, but we'll keep trying, and maybe this time I'll actually manage it. I mean, this ship is creeping along. What's the speed we do? Oh, we're doing almost 100 with this ship, which isn't bad given that it's only got 3 engines on the back and they're ion engines, whereas the other one's got like 20 something, 25, 29. I can't remember exactly. Maybe it's 31. A lot of engines anyway on the back of it, and they're antimatter engines, so they're more powerful, and yet this ship is still only slightly less than half the speed. It's a bit silly. So here we come, and yeah, there's a big queue of these Nakagen ships all piled up above Tulip and just not going anywhere because there's nowhere to go, which is a bit silly, but what can you do? Right, anchor me this somewhere. Let's put it down here, because this is where I'm going to start doing things, and there's plenty of free space down here. So we'll land here, leave the ship, and I'm going to put it over here. In fact, let's just copy this, like that, I suppose, and move that pylon out one, like that. What? Oh, it's outside the logistics area. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Then this belt will come over here and link onto there like that. That'll keep everything in the right place. Nice and easy. then all of these need to be reprogrammed as iron. Yeah, it's the... Oh! Bother. I forgot to rename it. So suddenly we have all of the... Suddenly we have an enormous quantity of vulcanite suddenly arriving here. That's really annoying. I mean, I can put some of it in here. I can turn off personal... That's really stupid. Yes, rename is a very... Oh, no! Have some stuff. Whatever. Any stuff. I don't care. Just... Okay. Oh, no, it's all right. I only took it out of here. Phew. I turned off alt mode and that confused me. So vulcanite drop. I don't want it to be called vulcanite drop. I want it to be called iron drop. There we go. No, I was fast. It was only these I'd emptied. I hadn't emptied this one yet. I just pressed alt because I was trying to do something else and got confused myself. And so yeah, it's all right. I haven't made things worse. I've only made them bad. So everything goes in there. Everything out of here goes in here. And that's all I can take. So let's put down another one of these. That. And put all of this in here. There we go. That's kind of tied up. I mean, I've got a nonsense of vulcanite over here, but that's not so bad. What I should actually have done is put this down close enough to here that I could feed it straight into it. That would have been sensible, wouldn't it? So let's do this. I'm going to have to remove this pipe, but that's okay because we're not actually launching rockets anymore from here, really. Put another one of these here. There we go. Got the right stuff coming out now. Another one of them over here for my inventory. One moment, please, while I actually tidy up after myself. Don't get used to this. This doesn't happen often. Ooh, what do I have in the way of inserters? I've got stack ones. Okay, that's fine. You should be blacklisting, and you should have power, and then you should have this. There we go. Sorted. Well, that one isn't, but basically they're sorted. So those are now going to load. Those are going to load the vulcanite into there. So it's all getting passed through, except for this little bit, which I need to pick up like that, and then put in here like that. Okay, so this is mostly okay now. I fixed... What? Let's try that again with less fail. And then we're going to have another belt just joining the general trend of stuff coming in from the rocket depot down at the bottom. How far up to... Where does the iron get brought in? Oh, is it? No, that's not iron. I've run out of underground belts. Ah! And it's done that thing where it put it in the wrong way around. And same down. Okay, I can reclaim some from down here like this. I'm really short of underground belts. Why am I never organised? Why do I never think of all the things I'm going to need? Okay, we're going to use space underground belts for the rest of this. Just because I don't have any of the other ones. They're not as good as the blue ones because they don't go as far. But I have them and therefore that makes them inherently better. Pass that through there. Now, I could try and punch this through here and just put it on the back of this belt and then just not bother about using any of the iron from this planet ever again. That does feel like the easy way to do it, so let's do that. I'm nothing if not lazy. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like that. Oh yeah. Right, there we go. Job done, I think. Yeah, it looks like I've got everything right there. So now we're going to pour through an enormous quantity of iron, incredibly slow. It is, you're right. Ah. I'm a thing high. Yeah, it should have gone into this one down here. Never mind, let's just do this. Can you tell that I'm not going to say stopped caring, because that's a bit strong, but I've certainly stopped caring as much as I did before with the with how I'm starting to lay things out, because this is very much just to finish this off at this point. There we go. That one's iron. Thank you for pointing out my obvious mistake. Right. They look very similar though, don't they? They're sort of basically, they're both sort of greyish rhombuses, rhombi, whatever. Okay, so now we have a plentiful supply of iron here. That was fairly easy to put in. Let's head back to Norvis orbit and wait for the Inaquium to start rolling in. And there might be a ship on its way already. We'll check that in a second once I've got going, because there's no point in just sitting here while I wait for things to happen. I might as well actually just, you know, get on with what I'm trying to do, like travel, the traveling part of it. So here we've got about 5,000 left. So this is about half full. I'm going to assume that means this is probably the one that was here already. If we look up here, there probably isn't a. Oh no, there is one. There is one flying over to Norvis with some Naquium in. So we are going to have some fairly soon. And also, I've gone in and I've fixed the source of that particular problem. No doubt there'll be another problem along fairly soon. But for now, you know, things are hopefully going to go okay. Right, so this is all ticking over quite nicely. I never got round to coming down here with all of the tier 6 modules it was expecting. So this is still very, very desperate for an upgrade. But it is producing, when it actually runs, it does produce enough Naquium. So I think we're probably all right with that. Okay, so that's the first thing. So that's getting the iron going here again, so we can get the acid going, so we can get the vitalic acid going, so we can get the Naquium going, and that's flowing. For now, have another look in space. There and again, it's nearly there. It's on its way. Then we've got, oh yes, and actually while we're up here, while we're on route place, actually let's refuel first, because otherwise something stupid's bound to happen. I could go down onto Norvis and sort out this problem here. And now I don't need to, obviously, but I feel like I should, just to tidy things up a bit and get everything moving again. And leave everything in a working state. So at the very least, when I come to make a video about how everything works at some point, ideally tomorrow, you never know, not to be released tomorrow, but to make it tomorrow, then I'll have an actual fully functional factory, so I can point at things and say, this is how this works, this is how that works, rather than going here and going, yep, that's broken. I still don't understand how this has happened, given that we've got nothing has been destroyed, but who knows. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm more eager to mess around in Factorio than I am to do so in Minecraft. It's much more fun, and gets me more viewers as well. So you guys like it more, I like it more. That's why I'm sort of thinking I probably won't be carrying on with it. Although the other guys are going in there in an attempt to make a big push for what we're calling the. It's not the end game, but it's an end game. So it's the point where they're reckoning on when they launch a rocket. Yeah, true. I could then go around and do all of the LTN error messages, but I think that's probably going a bit too far. These tanks are basically full. Let's just go straight to Norvis. Yeah, and I would quite... Part of me wants to go through all of these, but also I've let it get to such a ridiculous level that I'm kind of scared of it now. So, yeah, probably won't. There we go. Land here. Come over here. This is fairly easy. I just get in these, put them into manual mode, reverse up here. Is it G? It is. Put it back in auto mode. What? No. Oh, right. It was already in manual mode. That's what. Houston, we have a problem. That wasn't meant to happen like that. Have some coal. Coal? Coal. Have some instructions. Reverse up here. Connect. Automatic. Okay, and then it can go. Right, so now we're going to see a very quick succession of spaceships flying in here, going blomp, flying off again. So here we go. Here comes the train comes in like this. Spaceship departs. Plip plop, another one comes in with a lot of copper on board. Good. Yeah, I have turned the LTN error message volume down quite a lot due to popular demand. Not enough LT. Yeah, oh right, yeah, it could be. It was just sort of tidying up after I put in a fix. That's always the way, isn't it? Though you put in a fix, and then it takes for a while for everything to sort of get sorted out and calm down and so on. Now, one thing I was considering with this is at the moment we've got an enormous amount of stone flowing up here and going straight in here, so that's great. But it means that the copper all gets stuck inside in these warehouses. And one thing I'd like to do is have separate outputs for copper and stone, but I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest. There we go, and the third spaceship has arrived. So yeah, this is what it tends to be a bit like. We get the spaceships all queue up, and then they just all come flooding back in when I fix the problem. So this is not the first time this has happened, but that's 3. I wonder how many I'm going to get. I mean, we won't know until it's finished unloading all these trains and passing everything on and so on. But it's sort of, yeah. How much copper do we have? Copper's at 20,000. Okay, that's plus another 14,000 over here. That's a reasonable number actually. I'm happy with that sort of amount of copper. We're filling the gaps along here up with additional stone. Oh no, we're not filling the gaps. Sorry, we're merging the stone in, so we can just keep the stone flowing through, which is fine actually, because we've got a full belt of copper flowing around here, so we can't get both of them flowing full of copper anyway. So it's pretty good. It's not a mod. You just press J. It's I believe that's stock. If you're in if you're wandering around, as normally it turns your jetpack on and off. But if you're in a train, then J turns it between automatic and manual. It's and I'm pretty sure that's vanilla, because I'm pretty sure it's not part of any mod I've added. You know what? Let's not sit here watching spaceships taking off and landing. Well, maybe we should. I'm I am admittedly slightly curious in possibly slightly morbid is the wrong word, but in a slightly sort of how many spaceships am I going to get through for this kind of way? Does that even make sense? Was that English? I don't really know. This is why I'm scripted for all of the tutorial videos. Oh, thanks for the sub, Anima. Thank you very much. Is this the last one, or is there another one? Yep, there's another one. Oh, I wonder how many logistics robots are getting kidnapped by these spaceships as they depart. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go back to Norvis orbit. Norvis orbit, go. Yeah, it's one of those things that's occasionally useful when you hop into a train to move it around yourself, but most of the time doesn't really matter. Yeah, having the robots kidnapped isn't the end of the world. I don't know where they'll all end up, but I've got a supply of them being made on Norvis, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you can go into the you can open up the interface, yes, and do it. Blimey, yes, you're right. There are a lot of my LTN trains in use. You can do it from here as well, but a keyboard shortcut is always nice. So we should have had a delivery of Naquium. We have. We just got through it all. Great. Or I assume we have, and we've just got through it all. Is there some up here? There is. Yes, it's coming through from here now at a not particularly quick rate. Are we short of power? No, it's just apparently that's the speed you produce Naquium at, even with a manufactory doing it. Okay, or Naquium plates anyway, and they're getting gobbled up as fast as they come in, and that is still the limiting factor on how fast I can make these science packs. But it's making them again now. The only downside is that I put a priority on here. Now let's take that priority back off again, because it was a good idea at the time, because I was trying to prioritize making the tier 4 packs, because at that point I was really pushing for the spaceship and beginning research. So now I want to do other research, so we want to actually push them through this way a bit more. So we'll do that. Admittedly, only half of them are going that way now. Oh, I don't know which way I should have them going, but that's probably better. Hey, Anima, yes. Oh, good. I'm impressed. You've been. So, were you actually? Did you actually watch episode 1 when it came out, or have you did you run through them all and catch up after well, just after? Yeah, I'm looking. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to the K2 and 0.6 run through as well, because I think a lot of the changes that have been made in 0.6 sound very interesting, and I have to admit, a lot of the changes that have been made by K2 sound pretty interesting as well. So I think overall, it's going to be a lot of fun to play, I think, and yeah, very much looking forward to it. So none of them have made it down here yet, which is why we've not got any more research done. How many do I need for this research? Anyway, this is a 12. Oh no, okay. This is a 3200. This is a 6400. That's not too bad. I'll Okay, that's very early on. Well done. I'm impressed that you stuck around for that. So that must have been about almost 2 years. Wow, because I know that's about roughly how long I've been working on this run through. Hopefully the SEK2 won't take quite as long because there's more of us, so we can sort of spread the effort out a little bit, and also we'll have people who know a bit more about space exploration. We don't know anything about K2, but we do know a bit about space exploration. So hopefully that'll help a bit and allow us to get through some of the bits a little bit more quickly and effectively. But we shall see how that goes. I mean, no promises, but it may well turn into another sort of 2-year mammoth run through, which would be it produces lots of content and it seems to be very popular content as well. So I think I don't mind sort of being a Exactly, yes. We can send Mike off to go and build a mine up whenever, or a smelting array up whenever we need one. He's good at that sort of thing. He did quite a lot of that in the Industrial Revolution playthrough, so I imagine it's going to be exactly the same in this one. He was very helpful. I won't listen to a single bad word about him. Yeah, there's been a lot of off-camera work being done on the Minecraft run, but I think that's because Minecraft has a lot more grinding, whereas in Factorio, if you're grinding, you're kind of doing it wrong. You should be going off and putting out another machine to automate that grinding for you. So we shall see how it goes, what happens. But I'm hoping that there won't be too much playing off camera. I'm going to discourage it because I think it's Factorio. There's enough going on in Factorio most of the time that you shouldn't need to go off and play extra. You should be able to just everything should be interesting. Basically, there's no sort of just digging endless tunnels because you're desperately trying to get some resources. Um, Although, admittedly, what's going on right now is perhaps not quite as far off grinding as I would like it to be. Oh, and we're running out of Naquium again as well. Has any more come in yet? Probably not. Where is any more on its way? No, there's two parked there, so presumably one on the surface. That might mean one has arrived actually. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there's another ship arriving and unloading. So it's just arrived just in the nick of time in order to dump a bit more here and get everything replenished. And yeah, to be honest, if a popular stream lasts a couple of years, or maybe possibly even longer, who knows? Although with four of us, I'd hope we'd get through it a bit quicker than I would if I was on my own. And I managed to get through Angel Bob's in less than 2 years as well. So even if you combine the two, it should be a bit quicker. And then with four people, it should be quite a bit quicker than that. So we shall see. But to be honest, if I've got something that's a popular series, which I hope it will be, and it lasts for 2 years or longer, then that's a good thing, really. It means it's less time. I have to do less trying to think up a new series. It's going to be popular and lots of opportunities there. So I don't see a long playthrough as a bad thing, to be honest. As long as it keeps people's interest for the whole run through. That's the main thing. If it gets to the point where they're going, oh, it's just more Factorio, then it's not so great. But as long as it stays interesting and people keep wanting to come back and seeing what's going on, then that's great. I'm more than happy to have a very long playthrough. Specs. Let's see. Cat proc CPU info. Less. It is a Ryzen 5 3600 XT. I assume that's the spec you're most interested in because it's the one that's relevant to how well Factorio runs. I do also have 32 gig of RAM and I'm running the game off an NVMe drive. So lots of RAM, very fast drive, and a sort of mid-range but quite new processor. So yeah, pretty good system generally. Yeah, and that's a possibility. Once we get to the spaceship victory conditions in the K2 and SE run and do the victory ship, then there's potential for some people to go around and fix all these LTN errors or the equivalent, and someone else to go off and play Indiana Jones. So yeah, those are certainly possible. We'll see how it goes. Up there's the Naquium being dropped off. Just in time? No. Well, maybe it was actually. I couldn't tell. Yeah, I don't see any gaps in this actually. So yeah, I think it might have been just in time. Okay, we've got to 86%. That is some progress. Now the thing is, I'm looking forward to these tier 4 packs filling up the belt, which I can't quite see here. That's going to be a very, very long time. But once the tier 4 packs do fill up the belt, then these will, and everything backs up, then these will start to come through twice as quickly because we won't have half of the science packs going into making the higher tier ones. So at the moment it's got to there, it's got to there, it's got to there, it's got not got to there. So somewhere in here we're still trying to fill it up. So there is a lot of belt to fill up with these tier 4 deep space science packs. It goes all the way up here. This might be a slightly ridiculous system for making them, I have to admit. Oh, RAM speed. Interesting. I don't really know how to check my RAM speed. It's relatively generic, I think. I think I've got DDR4. Uh, LSHW less memory. It just says system memory, physical ID 0, size 32 gig. So I have no further information about my memory, I'm afraid. I know that my personal memory isn't very good, but the memory in my computer is somewhat better. Or at least not terrible. I don't know why I'm watching this machine as if I expect it to do something interesting. Alright, okay, so this is, I mean, we're getting there, but right, what else? What else is there anything else worth doing on here? So I'll cross the things off the list. So I've done the ion-on tulip. I've got energy weapon research happening. I didn't bother fixing the power thing when I was down on Norvis because I actually don't care. There's some uranium around. Actually, what's happened to my uranium ship? Is that now? That was. Oh yes, I remember. Last time it was stuck because it couldn't land because there was a fuel pipe in the way. But now it's down here. It's unloading uranium, so that's good. We've got a bit of uranium coming in, so I don't have to worry too much about eating all of the fact that these all kick in every so often and just push up a little bit out of their steam tanks and turn it into electricity. I could go and squeeze a few more lasers into the ship, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. That's a thing I could do. I'm hoping that the better energy weapon damage is going to mean that I don't need any more lasers. They'll be that extra chunk more effective. Let's have a look at the research and see if I can work out how much of a difference it makes. So I'm doing this one. This gets me laser damage plus 70. Is that an additional 70% on top of the other ones? I think it might be. Hang on, that's oh no, yeah. So it's plus 70%. So okay, each time I do this, now I wonder that's probably going to be additive rather than multiplicative. So if we have a look up here, boni. Um, Here we go. Damage. Okay, so damage is plus 510 at the moment, so it's presumably going to go up to damage 580%, plus 580. So that's more than 10% increase, which is not to be sneezed at. It that's going to make quite a difference. I am slightly tempted to put some gun turrets in here, just because I think it'd be kind of funny. Let's get those extra laser turrets I wanted. So if I go and float over by here, there we go. So I was tempted to put some gun turrets in some of the sort of the difficult places, like near to this corner, and apparently on the middle of these wings. Those are the other weak spots. I'm not sure why the middle's always the bit that gets hit, but it does seem to be. It could be interesting to put in some machine gun turrets and carry out a massive quantity of uranium ammo with me, but I don't think there's much uranium ammo up here in space that I could quickly and easily get my hands on, so we won't do that. However, down here I'm at 64, so I've got 35 stress available that I can use. And is it it's 4 per tile, isn't it? So that means I could put in 12, 14, I could put in quite a lot more turrets actually, quite a few more turrets if I can find the space for them. Now the places that keep taking the damage are down here, so let's put in another one down here and not here apparently. I could put one there right in the corner actually, let's do that. Um, Boom. Um, It probably, yeah, I think yeah, there's a pretty good chance it is down to some sort of confirmation bias or something like that. But it did always seem to be, it seemed to be the middle of the wings that kept taking the hits. Once it stopped, well, at least once it stopped being the very top corners. So yeah, I don't know. That feels like it shouldn't be the case because that feels like the most defended part of the ship. But that could be just sort of some sort of bias on me and fuzzy thinking and stuff. So who knows? Oh, there's a missing one there. There's room for one there, wasn't it? Yes, there we go. And there. That's quite a few more lasers, plus the extra 10% damage bonus. I think we now might. This might be worthwhile. Let's do an integrity check. So it's gone from 64.5 to 93.5. Right. Okay, that's as far as we're going to go. This is no longer has a lower stress than Tristan's, which is a shame, but never mind. I think I'm also doing a higher energy weapon damage level than he did. But I think from what he said, I think he said he didn't have as many engines. I can't remember whether he said he had 2 rows of engines. I don't know. But this seems like a suitable amount of stuff to me. I've got I've got a bit of wall. I've got some lasers, so I can do some emergency repairs and some repair packs. So I can do some emergency repairs if I need to. Don't have any spare shield generators, but if one of those gets taken out, then the ship has taken a lot of damage and might not be worth repairing at that point. 95%, very nearly there. This is the point where I'm actually just tempted to blast off and say, well, it'll be done with the research by the time I get out of the solar system. But that said, at the rate we're churning through the Naquium, that might not actually be true. We might run out of Naquium again. Oh, no, there's another ship arrived just in time, and we've got 1,500 in here now. I'm assuming that ran out and has had 1,500 out of this ship, because otherwise I think this train would have come sooner. But yeah, we're ripping through it at a bit of a rate at the moment. Roboport? No, I'm not going to put a Roboport on. It would add too much stuff onto the ship, too much stress. I don't think the ship could take the stress, and also I think the stress is better used elsewhere. Essentially, what I'm trying to say. 97%. Yeah, let's just go, and then we'll assume that this research will just finish while I'm on my way out of the solar system. But I'm going to save again anyway, just in case. So, cautious optimism. Let's see how this goes. Speed is set to 2. Oh, that wants to be set to 260, I think, these days. I reckon 260 is probably better. 100 and 100, that's fine. Fuel, thank you, Rodrigo. Let's put that in there. There we go. I've got some astronomic catalogues for some reason. No idea why. Let's not worry about that too much. Fuel goes out, fuel goes in. Yeah, cutting down to 6 of these reactors was definitely the right move. I mean, the shields are holding up so far, but I've barely left the Norvian sphere of influence yet. And although I have got up to 254, 255, so the ship is going nice and quickly. But yeah, I've only just got away from Norvis, so there's some way to go yet. Right. So, odds on this actually working. Does anyone feel optimistic? Personally, I do feel optimistic because I saw it work at lunchtime earlier. It was fine then. This energy weapon damage is going to make a big difference. It's 99% done, so I think that is going to be finished by the time we get out into deep space. I was just going, hang on a minute, why have all the engines shut off? Have we taken some damage that I haven't noticed? But no, it's okay. It's because we got to the asteroid belt and they're just all cutting out, so the ship would slow down a bit. That's fine. I'm okay with that. 70% chance of succeeding. Yeah, that seems reasonable, especially once this is done. And we get sort of 2 tries each time we go out, I reckon, before we start to worry about fuel down here. So that means there's a 30% chance of failure, which means there's a 0.3 times 0.3, which is 0.09. So there's about a 10% chance of this not being a success. That's pretty good. I think I can deal with a 10% chance of failure. Fingers very much crossed. Right, where are we? Still exiting the star's gravity well. Okay, well, we haven't got to the second asteroid belt yet anyway. I did save before leaving Norvis, yes. I did change the speed up to 260 after after we left, but I saved just before that after doing all of the other messing arounding. Yeah, I just didn't think of it, Rodrigo. It's so when someone suggested it, I can't remember who it was who suggested it, but it was so blindingly obvious when they suggested it, but I just didn't think of it. I was just tinkering with the design, putting in more lasers, trying to get the lasers in the right place and that sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't think of doing another energy weapon damage research. It just didn't occur to me. I'd forgotten that was a thing, perhaps. I don't really know. Oh, was it you? Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate the suggestion, as you can tell by the fact that I've done it. And yeah, it's that should hopefully help quite a lot. We shall see. Okay, I think we've sped up again. That might mean we're outside the... Yes, we're navigating interstellar space. We're nearly at 250. So the time is about to start ticking. There we go, 600. Ah, I see. Well, thank you for watching on both, because that's very good for my viewer numbers. I very much, definitely appreciate that. It's a sort of a slightly cheeky way to potentially double the viewer count. I trust everyone is subscribed to my YouTube channel and following me on Twitch as well, because those are both very important and very worthwhile things to do. I'm not pushing the YouTube subscriptions quite as much as I was before, because I've hit 1,000 subs now, and that was my big exciting target. So I've got to that, so I'm very happy with that. But oh yeah, just like that. Well done. Thank you, Rodrigo. Yeah, and it's not compulsory. I mean, I suppose you could stream YouTube at 360p or something like that, but it's probably not necessary. It's not worth it. Yeah, and as I say, I've got to the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube now, so that was very exciting, and I'm very pleased to have got there. And there is a thank you video of that I'm part way through making, and we'll hopefully have that coming out early next week. However, I am going on holiday the day after tomorrow, so who knows whether I'll actually have time. I wonder if YouTube counts that as a view, if you pull the chat into another window. Because I know Twitch does some funny things, like if you're watching on a different site, or if you're watching like a multi-stream, or if you have it muted, or various other things like that, then it doesn't count it as a view. It's quite picky about what it actually counts. I don't know what YouTube's rules are. As I say, to an extent, I'm more interested in the subscribers on YouTube, or at least I was until last weekend. And now I'm still interested, just not pushing quite so hard. This particular occasion, I'm going on a Norwegian fjords cruise, because the weather has been so ridiculously hot. We decided we didn't want to do something Mediterranean-y. 500 seconds. We didn't want to do something Mediterranean-y because it'd be ridiculously hot down there. And with it having been high 30s for some of this week, we're really looking forward to going away somewhere where it's going to be high teens, maybe 20, maybe low 20s on a really nice day. So, and it's something I've wanted to do for a while, and I think it should be absolutely stunning. So I'll come back with lots of photos and things, of course. Other holidays, well, sometimes the last few years we've been to the Lake District a few times, because it's in this country, so it's a bit easier when in sort of COVID seasons and things like that, and it's a bit of a cheaper holiday as well. Other times I might try and go skiing if I can. Not done that for a while though. It's been I've been struggling to find people to go with. Basically, that's the problem. Post-ship cruise? I'm not sure what you mean. No, I think the cruise is on the ship, not after the ship. So that would. 430-ish. I should have installed a speeder. Actually, I was going to say I should have installed a mod for speeding it up for this, but actually it wouldn't have helped, because my UPS is tanked down to 50-ish anyway. So having a mod trying to speed the game up wouldn't actually help. But oh well. Oh, okay. I'm not aware of that one, so probably not, because it would probably be mentioned somewhere in the publicity stuff for it. No, it's just it goes from Southampton. It goes in, it wibbles in and out of the fields a bit. There's a few places to have a look around and do various activities and hiking and admiring the scenery and stuff like that. So, but as I say, I'm not aware of it following any particularly famous, well-known route or anything like that. Zooming all the way in. No, that's made no difference at all. Well, no, I don't think it's made any noticeable difference. I don't think it's the rendering of the ship that's the problem. I think it's the calculations for the entire rest of my universe. I don't think you can delete other planets and orbits and things if they've got anything built in them. I don't think it's possible to delete any surfaces or at least any areas that you've built in. So I could probably trim some of them. That might help a little bit. I might be able to delete any I've not been to, but I don't think I can delete the stuff that's actually causing all of the impact on the game. And to be honest, I kind of don't want to because I'd like to have it all available and still existing afterwards for end game purposes and just messing around with things afterwards, which I might do a bit of. I don't know. It's either that or go off and join everyone else playing Minecraft, or go and start tinkering with some videos. There's still some stuff to come out next week. So my plan is to still have at least. Well, obviously there won't be any streams next week because I'm just not going to be at my computer. But I do hope to have some videos pre-made so they're ready to go out and will pop up during the week. So you'll still have some stuff to watch, and my views won't completely tank. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking, Peter. Deleting them will, well, trimming and yes, will help with the file size, but not with much else. I don't think if there's nothing happening there, then it's not going to do it. It's not going to be impacting the UPS very much. I feel like the shields are going down a lot less. I've not really noticed the shields going down much at all. So I think this improved laser damage has made actually quite a big difference, and maybe putting in the extra lasers as well. That's probably helped quite a bit too. 288. Ooh. It's going well so far. As I say, the shields seem to be just holding up. I'm trying to think. I've not noticed any of them go down. I might have just missed it because I was too distracted by looking at something else or talking about something else. But the shields do seem to be withstanding what's left of the rocks hitting them after the lasers have done their best. And I'm not even standing in a place where I can help them. That's not a silly thing, but I mean, I might as well do what I can. But there we go. Do a bit of damage to that massive rock as it went past. Well, my arms are resting on my desk, so I suppose I'm touching wood to an extent there. It's laminate over chipboard. Does that count as wood? I think it probably does. It's wood-derived materials anyway. Maybe I should make myself a nicer desk. That'd be quite a good DIY project. There's another big one. Boom, straight into the shields. Oh, so it has. Damn it. Speed must have dipped, because I don't think anything got damaged. I don't know why the speed would have dipped, though. Did we have an energy problem? Well, that's clearly when we took off. But no, there's a slight dip there. Don't know what caused that. Okay, well, I guess we'll have a second attempt now. I don't want to have to do another spaceship integrity research. It's just too much Deep Space Science 4 required. And how much is the next factory spaceship level? 32,000 Deep Space Science 4s. Yeah, I'd need to probably go around and tinker with, well, everything in order to get that to work. So yeah, why did you stop? What were you doing? What were you playing at? Stupid thing. Grumble, 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 grumble. And the shields seem to be fine. I don't think a hole got punched in the ship. I'd probably have. I guess I might not have noticed it if it had been just up here, or basically in my logistics area, and it just got fixed. I checked the power graph, and there's no blips in it. at all. Well, I can't see it now because I can't scroll back a bit, but there's a tiny little divot in it, but there wasn't anything significant that I saw. Even if you go back 10, well, you can't see anything on the 10-minute range. Oh, maybe you can. Yeah, there it is. There's a tiny little divot there where it dropped for some reason. So, but I don't know why. I don't think that it's not as if the ship was using any particularly large amount of power. Oh, was there? Oh, okay. Well, that explains that then. Maybe having the shield not overlapping the sides of the ship like this it was a mistake. I mean, I suppose in theory I could move this whole, I could move the wings up so they're coming down off the top here. So we've got just a sort of a shape like that with all the engines coming off the bottom of it, and then some more engines around the bottom of this part. I'm pretty sure that would be fewer engines. Sorry, that would be less effective though, because I think some of the engines in the corners wouldn't be putting out quite as much power, and it'd be harder to do the plumbing for. So I don't really want to do that. I don't think the accumulators would have helped, because I don't think the accumulator power dipped far enough. I think it must have been. Maybe could it have been a rock that just sort of snuck around the edge here and came in at a bit of an angle, and somehow managed to bop onto here, or did the shields on the front actually go down? Either way, the lasers probably should have defended against it. I suppose, yeah. What's the frame? And I'd like to have another laser in the top here, but there simply isn't room for it. Well, I suppose I could extend that up a tiny bit. I'd have to move that laser down, and then no, still wouldn't work. Yeah, I think it. I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. I mean, somebody said, yeah, Andras said there was some damage on the left side, so maybe something did happen. But yeah, I think okay. Hard to say then. Maybe I've made the increase in size of the ship ever so slightly up to whatever it is on now, 3,993 instead of the 60 whatever it was on before. Maybe that's caused enough of an increase in the or decrease in the maximum speed that it's not quite as capable of holding it up there. If it happens, I was going to say if it happens again, I won't have enough fuel to try again, do a third try. But potentially, if it did happen again, then I could try taking out one of these shield generators up at the top, because I think these three, yes, this one in the middle is completely overlapped by these two, so that one isn't strictly necessary. I could take that out, which would save some stress. Did it? Maybe. It's a 550. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably did. Okay. In that case, let's make this a bigger number. See if I can do it without this resetting this time, without the speed doing something stupid. So all the engines should just be burning all the time now. So there shouldn't be any wibbles in the speed caused by the engines turning on and off, because there's a little bit of an effect from that, I think. So hopefully this will prevent that happening. Oh yeah, let's check the power graph. No, not you. You. And there's this wibbly bit 10 minutes ago, but that was 10 minutes ago, so that was obviously irrelevant. Maybe that was just after launch. I'm not sure what would have caused that, but whatever it was ages ago, so it wasn't from that. And the power is sitting fairly happy at 6 gigawatts out of the possible. I know 7 gigawatts we can generate. The other gigawatt is from the accumulator. So yeah, I don't know. There's nothing. There doesn't seem to be any obvious reasons that's causing this. We've not had any holes blown in the ship. That's definitely the case, because my character's been standing in the middle recently, and he hasn't done any repairs. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it is definitely the speed, because the only reason this dips is because the speed dips. But there are several reasons why the speed might dip. It could be because of it wibbles because it does a bit. It could be because of shortage of power. It could be, or it could be due to damage. So yeah. Well, Joel, I've been out. I've done an additional energy weapons damage. So I've done energy weapon damage 11. So the lasers are now a bit more powerful. and I needed to sort out the iron supply on Tulip for that. And now I'm out flying again with the victory ship in a desperate attempt to actually finish this game. And as I said, as I was saying earlier, I did manage to do it at lunchtime, and it worked. So it was fine. It got through, but now it seems to be struggling. Now we've got the engines all burning constantly full blast. The speed is constant though, so it's dead steady at 263, rather than that sort of wibbling up and down a bit that it did when I had it at 260. So I think this is better. Hopefully this is going to be okay. Now my main concern now is running out of fuel, running out of the antimatter fuel for these reactors. There's still a fair amount flowing around, so there's still no, there isn't actually any flowing around anymore. It's all been slurped up now, I think. But there are 5 to 7 antimatter pods left in each of these reactors. So, oh no, there are a few left running around there, just not very many. So they're still all full of fuel. They've still got a fair amount of go left in them, and even when they haven't, there's still going to be a lot of heat left in the system. So it's still going to carry on going for a bit longer. So I've got that. So maybe it's going to be all right. Yes, as Game Boy says, the speed I need to be at is 250, but if it dips below that even for a fraction of a second, then the thing resets and I get angry and swearing. No, I'm not going to. So, Andres, my plan is to restart because 0.6 has just come out. Well, I want to move over to that and play with Factorio 2 as well. So once I do this spaceship victory, that's going to be it for 0.5. I'm going to be moving on to that for the next session, next stream things. So yeah, so I'm not going to do the archaeological stuff this time. But we'll probably do that in the next playthrough in 0.6. I'm not using beam energy because I wouldn't. If I try to put in enough beam power beam receivers in here, because they're massive. Look, take a look at this. If I put in the beam receivers, and whilst I do quite like them, they're flipping huge. I'd only be able to fit about 2 in this whole sort of area here, and that wouldn't hold as much energy as the sort of the 150, 200, whatever antimatter pods I brought with me. So I do like using those thermal batteries, but for this particular thing, because this takes 6 gigawatts, they just don't hold enough power for it. So yeah, not going to use that. Yeah, turning off the logistics network is not a bad idea. Does that turn off automatic repairs as well? I'm not in my character mode. There we go. Turns off personal logistics and auto trash. Does it turn off? No, it's not. It's turn off repair personal roboport. There we go. That's the one I wanted. There. Yeah, that'll stop them going out and fixing things if anything happens. Well, K2 will probably. I'm under the impression that K2 is going to make a lot of things easier and a lot of things harder, and which is quite nice. I think it makes it for a nice balanced game. So yeah, I've heard there at the as you say, the antimatter reactors are significantly better, but then a lot of things are significantly harder as well. So there's going to be a nice sort of combination of the two, I suspect. And so I think overall it's going to be harder, but there are going to be some nice surprises in there. I've heard some people saying that the making rocket fuel is an absolute nightmare because it takes an enormous quantity of atmospheric condensers, I think it was, that they were complaining about. So we've got that to look forward to. But otherwise, well, I don't know. It's going to be a different challenge. There'll be some things that are easier, some things that are harder. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Yes, Faustus. Yep. Hi, hello. Yes, you're here at hopefully the victory. Oh no, was it? Oh, that rock that was coming in on the side over here. That went very, very close to the side of the ship before it got finally lasered apart. Did it? That one. Okay. So they're not withstanding it completely. But I do find the shields do. Well, they did fail occasionally on the run that, as I said, that actually did go successfully. So it's not the end of the world as long as they come back again in time before the next big rock comes in, because the lasers can deal with the small stuff without too much difficulty. But it's when you get a massive asteroid coming in that they just can't. They just can't. Nearly at 200. That's almost 2/3. That's pretty good. And got plenty of antimatter stream left, so yeah, I could take some of these out actually. That would help a little bit with the stress levels. It'd help more with the container stress than the than the hull stress though, because I think whilst taking one of these out, that would save me like 9. Are they 3x3 or are they 3x3? Yeah, so it saved me 9 units of stress. But yeah, it's wide like that because because I didn't want to have any of the engines sort of blowing back onto other parts of the ship, because that loses quite a lot of their efficiency and effectiveness. And I basically need this many engines in order to get the required speed out of the ship. It means a lot more defences are required though, so possibly if I'd had sort of a small, if I'd had 2 half wings coming out the side here. Oh no, something's got broken. Yep, down there. Okay, so it's still not working. Okay, reload back. Let's have another look at this and see if I can see what I can do about this. I'm not sure. So it was, again, it always seems to be out on those wings that the damage gets through. Yes, the laser damage did help a lot. Apparently, save scumming is the way to do it. Even if I didn't, the weird thing is I didn't load any of those extra saves I made, but still it made enough of a difference that somehow just the saving was apparently enough to make it actually work. And I'm fully aware that makes no sense whatsoever. So I need more lasers in about here, essentially. Spidertrons with lasers, that's an interesting idea. No, doesn't putting a Spidertron on a ship massively increase the stress? This gap here, yeah. So if a rock happens to come in at just the right angle, it could sneak through. Maybe that's the problem. I mean, I could put that there. I can't put it there, but I could fiddle the walls. I'd have to put it there. I could fiddle the walls around a bit so that works. And it would give me more space for lasers in there. Yeah, that's an interesting idea, actually. Let's give that a try. So, down here. Put in a little bit more spaceship floor, like that. And then a shield generator like that. That's the lowest I can put it. But it's okay, it overlaps everything. I've lost the nice sweeping shape of it, but yeah. Yes, I probably am more stressed than my spaceship is. Wouldn't be surprised. There we go, trim the side in there. And now, this also means I can put in a lot more lasers in here. I say a lot more lasers, I'm not sure if that is actually more. The ship is slightly bigger though, so it probably is more. The fun part is after I've done this, then going to be going through and trying to make the ship to overall stress level low enough that it will, work. So actually let's start off by taking out a couple of these tanks, like that. That's going to help a bit. Yeah, I think I'll probably have to take out the top middle shield. I don't really want to, but I think I'm going to have to. A bit more spaceship floor. Plump, plump. Is that enough? Yes. Okay, so with that, then we have 2 lasers there, 2 lasers there. Remove some of these random extraneous bits of wall. How stressed do you feel? Bet it's going to be over 4,000, isn't it? Because of course it's not. It's gone down a bit. That must be removing those 2 tanks. Excuse me. So I think I'll leave that shield in, but that shield in up there. But what I will do is move this over here. I could probably remove one more tank. There probably isn't a space for this, because if there was a space for this, I'd have put something in it. So okay, we'll put this in down up here then. Because my thought is, let's take this out. And then we can put the box and the inserter up here. Yes, it's going to put them onto the wrong side of the belt. No, I don't care, because there aren't enough for it to matter. Because that means I can then pull up this, start doing this instead. That probably isn't worth it. This bit over here might not be worth it, actually. So for this, I save one from that, but yeah, this is a break even. There's no point in doing this bit. But this bigger hole in the middle is worth it. Do that. Then I can make this hole bigger. Why am I doing it by hand? Let's do it automatically, like that and that. There we go. And now we've got a stress level of probably a bit less, 339.80 perhaps? It's gone up! Goodness sake. That shouldn't have gone up. Oh, I don't know. I don't understand the logic in this game sometimes. I probably could remove the feeding system from there. I could just dump them and load it all by hand. Yeah. I think I don't care enough to sort of tweak it that carefully. This is probably okay. Yeah, the ship has holes in to reduce the stress level because this doesn't count as part of the ship. So the thing is though, making these holes is sort of it's a double-edged sword in a way, because taking out a square of floor saves me 1 stress, but putting in a piece of wall loses me half a stress, or makes it worse by half. So if you take out 1 piece of floor but put in 2 pieces of wall to do so, then it should be break even. It's possible it's something like that. Another possibility would be to make a hole at the back and sort of let it out like that. Well, I wonder actually, what if? I mean, this means losing a laser, which is probably a bad idea. But what if I did this? It means losing 2 lasers. But I'm curious as to what this is going to do to the stress. I'm going to put that back because I don't want to lose those 2 lasers right from where they're needed. But yeah, that's good. That has dropped it a little bit. Streamline is still 100% as well. Yes, square holes are better than rectangular. Yes. Yeah, so exactly. These should all be. None of this is narrow, particularly narrow, so it should be reasonably. It should be okay. But I don't know why it's not. Oh well. Nope, not that one. There we go. Okay, I think that's a fair chunk of faffing around with it. It's probably sufficient. Let's integrity check again. Oh, and I need to reset the speeds in here as well, like, once again. So we're going to make that 270. So there's a 265. So there's a bit of headroom. Set those back to 100. And let's have a quick look to see why the science seems to have stopped again. Is it Naquium shortages? It is Naquium shortages. Of course it's Naquium shortages. And this being a massive research as well, I suspect, is probably not helping. Okay, nothing new to learn there, really. Hopefully that'll give me slightly better coverage over there. I don't know whether that's really going to make that much difference. That's the most annoying thing. I've put all this effort into faffing this around, and I don't know if it's actually going to help. I guess we'll see. Let's just give it another shot. To some extent, eventually it's just going to work through luck, rather than me having made the ship any different at all. So, yeah, let's give it a shot. Right, okay, off we go again. Are there any other interesting researches that I could get set going, that are sort of non-infinite ones? That teleportation's interesting, but that's 10,000 Deep Space Science 4. That's Deep Space Science 1. I don't want to use up any Deep Space Science 1s, and everything else requires those, or is an infinite research, or is not actually that interesting. That's mildly interesting, but yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've gone around sort of fiddling with everywhere where I think I can make a slight improvement. Possibly closing off these sections on the end here would be worthwhile. At the very least, it would give a slightly more sensible look to the ship. I'm kind of tempted to just fill in, certainly these little ends of these holes, maybe that hole, there, and same on the other side, and see what it does to the stress, because, I don't know, stress doesn't quite behave as I would expect it to, put it that way. And if I did that, maybe I could move these shields along a little bit and have them pointing straight up, which would look slightly more pleasing. Yes and no. I can put in more lasers. I can put the lasers in better positions for what the for where the impacts are happening on the ship. So if I know that the impacts are happening down here, I put in more lasers in this area, so there's more to defend the ship in these areas. And I've rejigged the shields to give slightly more accurate coverage. So I've made some little tweaks that will hopefully massage it into being slightly better, and also, quite simply, I'm having another go at it, and so through just sort of rolling the dice again, there's a chance that it might work. I like how we've got the steam pouring off the back of the ship, as well as the exhaust from the engines. Looks bizarre, but sure, why not? If I built that the other way round, so vertically rather than horizontally, then I'd have an even longer plume of steam coming off the bottom. Plume of steam coming off the bottom. Yeah, I think in hindsight it would have been slightly nicer to have the wings further forwards. It would have looked slightly better. It wouldn't have been quite as effective though, so it's probably a good thing I didn't. But having extra wings on the front, or having two sets of wings instead of one big pair of wings, again, that might have improved things a little bit. But again, that would have cut down seriously on the amount of thrust I'd have got, and I've only just got enough thrust for the weight of the ship. Yes, a little bit like a B-52 bomber. It would have meant I wouldn't have had these big areas down the side to defend. It would have meant that the big rocks that were heading down here wouldn't have had as much time being just lased as they went past, like those ones did. But, you know, I suspect it probably wouldn't have made a particularly significant difference. The engines were turning on and off because I was just passing through Kalida's asteroid belt 2 here, so I told it to not go faster than 100 when it's passing through an asteroid belt, because it's just inviting more damage to happen. Whereas when it's in open space like this, then it's going to try and go as fast as possible. So, well, it's going to try and do 265, which is more than its maximum possible speed, apparently. So this means the engine's just always on all the time. You're putting as much power into it as possible, just going as fast as it can, and that seems to be a lot more reliable than having it try and keep a particular speed. Because there's one occasion where I think it dipped below 250 and therefore failed because it was trying to do 260 or 255. And the speed dipped a tiny bit because it was wibbling up and down as it tried to maintain it. The ship doesn't have cruise control, it turns out. It's just it is somehow doing it manually, or at least the cruise control isn't very good. So yeah, it dipped down below that speed, and that caused me to lose when I think probably had about 200 seconds left. So the reason the wings are on there is basically the ship needs to be this wide in order to have this many engines. If you put engines in front of each other, then you lose a lot of efficiency from them. So then you need to have even more engines, and that means more stress, more research needing to be done to make the ship as powerful as it needs to be. And then the reason they're wings rather than the whole thing just being one massive triangle is because this cuts out all of this space in here is extra space that I don't need to have spaceship stress for because it's not there. So essentially, can they overlap a bit? All right, maybe I could have made it slightly smaller then. I'm not sure, but essentially, well, you say that these ones in the middle here are only at 99% efficiency, and they're not overlapping at all. It's just because they're not in the same big triangle thing. So explain to me why these ones are only getting 99% efficiency then, Faustus? Because it's not. There's some sort of weird interactions going on there. Anyway, yeah. So if it's blocked behind them, then it makes perfect sense. But then they're a bit less efficient. Yeah. Basically that. Yeah. So I'd need to put in more engines. That would increase the amount of size. As you can kind of. Although that said, I suppose it would increase the size of the ship, but it would also significantly reduce the number of lasers in the wall along the front, because the wall would be shorter. So it's possible it'd be a worthwhile trade-off. I don't know. I definitely heard somewhere that having them in a sort of in a diagonal like this is more efficient. I've not done any tests on that, but it would be mildly interesting to try the sort of similar design with just a dead straight line of engines across it. Although this works quite well with the shape of the wing to get a streamlining in, because if you had the sort of them completely separate. So if you had this dead straight, then you still wanted to have some streamlining along the wings, then you'd have to have then you'd have bigger wings on either side, basically. Nope, I think I'm pretty happy with the way I'm editing the video, so I'm not really planning to do anything different, but if you've got some suggestions, I'd be intrigued to hear them. Yes, that's true. Regular wall. If I can make nice, neat squares like the rectangles like these ones, yes, that is a more efficient use of the walls to the open space than this is. But I need to have a shield in here somewhere, so it has to go somewhere. 400, under 400. It's going. This is a really long and just time-demanding end game requirement. It's a bit ridiculous, but it's obviously clearly an interesting challenge, because it's clearly a challenge because I'm struggling with it. But it's yeah, it's I don't know. I haven't seen Maholik's latest. I guess a pyramid design or sort of triangular design is what you're going to end up with, because you want the front to be pointy and you want the back to be wide. So you sort of edit it to you build it up to be, well, like this basically. No, Joel, there's no way I'm going to do videos like that, because they're far too intensive on editing time. It's not worth it. I don't have the brain space and the sanity to do videos like that. Oh, the anomaly one. I'm trying to remember what the anomaly one looked like. Yeah, that was designed to look like a sort of a cool, proper spaceship, rather than looking like something that's being built towards these various constraints. So yeah, I mean, building towards that sort of thing is nice, and it's sort of the ideal, to try and make something that looks cool. And I think I did reasonably well with the Donut, my long range travel ship. And the interstellar Naquium ships aren't too bad either. But this one was built against a very, very tight stress constraint. So the design has been determined largely by trying to make the ship as small as possible, whilst getting in this enormous power plant in the middle and this many engines across the back. So yeah, that's very true, Rodrigo. Yeah, I could have the engines. I could have a bit of overlap. Well, that's sort of what I was trying to say earlier. Is that having this be a bit smaller, having another wing up here, would mean fewer lasers were required all the way along the front. Yeah, see there you go, 99% on the middle engines. Would mean less shields required, fewer lasers required. Generally, it'd be a slightly smaller ship. So yeah, it's possible that the reduced efficiency of the engines would be compensated for by the reduced amount of other stuff. Yeah, you might well be right. It's a possibility, but I don't know. I haven't. It's such a big redesign of the ship to do, or rather, it would be such a big redesign of the ship to do that. I don't really want to if I can get away with it, I guess is the best way to put it. I'd like to keep. If I can just tweak this one to get it to work, then that'll feel significantly easier than significantly less effort than doing a major redesign of it. I mean, eventually, if I can't get this one to work, then eventually, yes, I will give up on it and go, okay, this is clearly a bad design and needs to be done differently. But for now, It's so close, and I know it can do it. Um, I know it can do it because, as I said when I was testing it earlier today, um, because I wanted to test the thing we've been talking about with the how deterministic Factorio is. It worked, and yes, I was save scumming because I was curious if that was how I was going to test that. But I didn't actually reload any of my saves because I didn't need to. It just flew straight through first time, and I was quite surprised and actually slightly disappointed. Partly because it did that when nobody was watching, so it doesn't really count, and also because I wanted it to fail in order to test something. So yeah. Ooh, less than 3 minutes. Will it make it this time? Will it make it? Will it make it? Will it make it? Yeah, all right. That's a good idea. Let's say. So I had one called Save Scum in here somewhere. There it is. Save Scum. Let's overwrite that one. Right. So we can have a look. Yeah, we can have to check that one out again. If it doesn't, depending on whether it succeeds or not, well, either it'll succeed and I'll be very happy and we'll just not worry about that, or it'll fail and then I can go back and see if the rocks fall in exactly the same places again. So it'll be interesting either way. Uh, but I mean, I could say so far so good, but I could have said that 10 minutes ago about the previous run as well. So it's it's all so far so good until it so far isn't good. It's not like you gradually wear down the shields and or gradually start to run out of any resources. It's just it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's not fine. How many hours have I got? That's something I get asked quite a bit. Let's have a look. I'm currently on 22 days, 1 hour, 55 minutes, which I think, oops, because I checked this earlier, that it's slightly less than 500, it's probably about 530 hours by now, I think. So yeah, quite a lot. Ooh, sub 100. It's time for another save scum. Um, Yeah, it's worth noting that it's taken me slightly longer than it otherwise would because when I first started, it was before Irondell had put in the warning on startup that says, "Hey, it looks like you're using the Factorio default biter options. You should use the space exploration default biter options because they're a lot easier." So I didn't notice that. Well, that message wasn't there, so I didn't realise, and I started on the Factorio default. So the biters were a bit more challenging than they're supposed to be, so it took me a bit longer than it should have done to get off Norvis, and my drain on my uranium has been a bit higher than it would otherwise have been through just the amount of ammunition it gets through. So it's taken me a bit longer than it otherwise would, but I mean I've managed it. It's not been too serious a problem. But yeah, about 530 hours to get to a pretty close to a spaceship victory. 1 minute. And we've run out of Naquium in Norvis orbit again. It's not particularly surprising. Those are some big old rocks coming in now. I wonder if I don't think the rocks get bigger as you get closer and closer to completing this. But it would be an interesting sort of ramping up of the challenge. It'd be rather mean though, because you'd sort of be testing your ship against the first 5 minutes of it, and you go, aha, it's fine, and then get 5-10 minutes in and it would break. Yes, Dies 20? Yes, I am. So not next week because I'm going to be on holiday, but the week after we shall be starting, probably the week after, possibly the week after that, but early August anyway. We shall be starting a multiplayer Space Exploration 0.6 and Crestorio 2 playthrough from scratch, and that one will. The intent at the moment is to go for the full everything victory. 8, 7, 6, 5. These are long seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop! Hurrah! It's done it. So it's this saving on the way out. It scares the rocks off. You don't have to. You don't have to actually do any loading. You just need to scare the rocks off by saving occasionally. So we go. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 3.8 million small asteroids? 500,000 medium asteroids. 165,000 big spitters. Almost 100,000 big biters. Anything interesting in here? Meteorite, splitters, spawners, biters, worms, rocks. There's lots of different types of rocks, I notice. Oh, this is the alien biomes mod. There was somebody else who was complaining about that. So, thank you, everyone. Yes, that's a big relief. Oh, I killed 193 transport belts, apparently. I'm not sure how I did that. Probably through inadvertent grenades or missile rockets or something. Killed 70 construction robots, and these are my kills. These are not biter kills. So apparently I killed 70 construction robots. Wonder how I did that. uh, Small poles. These will have all been ones I drove into with the car, I reckon. Yes, I unmade an entire asteroid field with my by just lasing it all to death. Ah, thank you everyone. What else have I destroyed? Oh, I died. No, I killed myself 7 times. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe that's deaths to trains or something like that, or I don't know. Probably not biters though, because I'm pretty sure I died more times than that to biters. Good. Well, let's continue anyway. So that's now active. I've completed. So that's done. I guess now, where am I? Where am I trying to get to? Still trying to get to Realm of Shadows. Let's go back to Norvis Orbit. Yes, I do. I probably do deserve a beer at this point. It's been such a such a mission. Let's see how fast this ship can go. I think we found out how fast this ship can go, actually. It's 263.74. That is its maximum speed. It could be interesting to make a ship that's just designed to go as fast as absolutely possible. So you have minimum stuff on it for power generation, a load of engines across the back. Yeah, that could be an interesting challenge, but not one I'm planning to do right now. Oh yeah, exploration journal. That's a good point. Let's have a look at that. Anomaly ship log. Spaceship Victory. Extremely fast and powerful spaceship and activated the distortion drive. It took a while for the drive to stabilize into practical FTL state, but once it did, I was able to enter cryosleep for the subsequent journey home to a galaxy far, far away. I leave behind an autonomous interstellar empire built from the ground up by my own hands. My legacy in space will live on, at least until one of the trains runs out of fuel or gets cut in half in a stupid place and the entire thing grinds to a halt. Oh yeah, I could turn off the Nexus, couldn't I? That's a good idea. It's just sitting at 90% done. Stop it. That's not going to make any difference to my speed, but it is going to stop these things running out of power. I am travelling at this speed. I'm still 39 minutes away from Norvis orbit. Blimey. Let's go via Fenestra then. Oops, engage. Yeah, it is a very optimistic look at my efforts. Yeah, obviously everything's just going to keep working all by itself. Carry on doing science forever. No, there's nothing's going to break down. Nothing's going to get eaten or have a small patch of something or other run out somewhere. I mean, I suppose I'm just trying to think. In theory, most of my facilities are running off core mining. So the only thing that would run out would be Naquium. Would eventually run out because that's being pulled out of non-infinite patches. The Vitamelange is also being pulled out of non-infinite patches, but we're only using it at that rate because I can't core mine it fast enough to do the Naquium processing. So, in theory, if I build things without making mistakes, and yeah, obviously that's unlikely, but if I built things without making mistakes, then the only thing that would stop working would be the Naquium processing. Everything else will just keep ticking over, basically forever. I don't know if I've got enough rocket fuel being generated. I don't, because that might be. I think the rocket fuel might be coming from normal oil mining, but that never runs out actually. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, LTN is just endlessly sad, isn't it? So why? Is this just a lack of trains, or what? Yeah, what's going on here? No station supplying glass. No station supplying. Really? No stations providing heat shields found. There should be one sort of around. Yeah, here it is. Maybe there are 2 trains trying to go to it at the same time. You see, this is the problem. Sometimes if you get 2 trains trying to do the same thing at the same time, then yeah. I'm sure taking a beer to bed with me is a silly idea, but yeah, maybe I'll go and grab a beer soon. Yeah, I don't know why it's complaining about no stations providing heat shielding, because there's one right here with with 350 in it. Okay, so it has run out. This spaceship has probably got a lot of heat shielding on it. So okay, that is replenished, so that's being fixed. Various catalogs. No station providing crude oil. Where's it? Oh, Salia. Okay. No station providing broad material catalogues. So the catalogues are... I'm ripping through the science a bit too quickly, basically, is what this is trying to say. So we're a bit short of material catalogues over here. And presumably that means... Where's materials? Materials down here, second one in. I don't know what tier broad is. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, it could be this one. There's not enough here. Yeah, some whiskey might be quite nice. Why are you sad? You're sad because of this one, which is because... Oh, the scrapper's bunged up. That's interesting. I mean, I know we produce obscene amounts of scrap with this, but I'm surprised. Train limit is 1. Why is there no train coming here? Oh, I know why. Yeah, it's down to poor. It's sort of poor design to an extent. I think it's because there's a lot of different places that are producing excessive amounts of scrap. So the theory is there's a waiting place here where they wait full, then they come around here and empty, then they go off to wherever has a load of scrap to be picked up. So at the moment, actually, it's just the unloading process is taking too long. No, not N. Actually, that's handy. Let's go to Norvis Orbit. Now will you go to Norvis Orbit quickly? Yes. No, you don't add water. You only need. Apparently, I heard this in a real proper Scottish distillery. You're only supposed to add water to whiskey if it's cask strength, so about 60% ish. If you buy a bottle and it's about 40%, then it's already had a little bit of water added to it to bring it down to the correct inverted commas level by what they're for what they're selling it at, and that means it is already ready to drink straight off. You don't need to water it down a little bit further. It's already got that little bit of water in to give it the flavour profile. Oh, I see. We've got too much contaminated scrap because we've got too much scrap and it's just not going through. In fact, we should both sides this along here somewhere. Well, yeah. So basically, this comes down to there's too much scrap. Everything's broken. Which is interesting, not enormously surprising, I suppose, but yeah. I just need to... Maybe this should feed in and come in from the other end of the belt or something, because oh no, it does actually get all the way up there. So. Whiskey stones are great. The only problem is they're a bit unforgiving. I had a glass break because the stones moved in it in an unfortunate way, and that happened to sort of smack into the side of it, and it broke. Yes, my victory ship has won and is now on a nice gentle cruise at a mere 263 speeds back to Norvis Orbit, because that's basically where I live. So yes, I made it, did it, all that good stuff. It's been successful, an achievement. So this will be the point where this will be the last stream for the run through. For this run through, I'll be starting again next week. Well, that's a good question. I went round and I fiddled with lots of things. I mean, for example, I moved these shield generators a little bit further out and rotated them so that they're pointing straight upwards. Ooh, that one just went down. On both sides. And that allowed me to put in a few extra lasers in the middle here. I tinkered with all kinds of other bits and pieces, putting extra lasers in where I could, made this hole a bit bigger. I did lots of fiddling. As to what actually helped and fixed it, I couldn't really tell you. I think it's possible that some of it might have just been luck, and that I went in and that each time you go through, I think there's a certain amount of randomness, and it's so each run is a roll of the dice. You can make your ship better, and therefore having a slightly higher chance of winning. But I think if you get a particularly lucky or a particularly unlucky run, then it may or may not win despite rather than because of what you've done. So I think there's an element of this time maybe I was just a bit lucky, or a bit luckier than previous runs, or maybe these extra lasers in here made all the difference, because all of the damage that I seem to be getting, what did tend to be out on the wings in this sort of area. So putting some extra lasers defending that area may well have helped quite a bit. Yeah, it is a bit of a flying house. Although to be honest, my house doesn't have wings like this. I suppose it's a house that's then had some fairly significant extensions put on the ground floor, but not on the upper floor. Massive conservatory, perhaps, complete with windows. But yeah, I mean, the design of my ship was very much constrained by constrained by criteria such as the amount of available stress points I could invest in it, and the amount of and the number of engines I needed. Because basically, with a ship that's about 4,000 stress or close to, it seems I needed this many engines to go fast enough, and therefore I wanted it to be this wide, and I needed to have a block in it somewhere that was this size and shape. So you put those two together, and then you sort of wrap the spaceship wall around it, put a row of shields around the top of it, try and suck all of this space and air out of it. Then you more or less end up with this shape, and it's somewhat beyond my control. It's just this is the shape you end up with. Now, yes, I probably could have made it a slightly different shape if I tried. I could have just extended these lines downwards and had the wings up here instead of at the back. That would have worked. I could have had the the engines in more of a straight line. I could have had two sets of wings, and that would have been interesting because then I wouldn't have needed quite as much defensive stuff. So maybe that would have saved enough stress to make up for the fact that the engines wouldn't perform at maximum efficiency up there because they'd be blowing against this part. So yeah, there are other ways I could have made it, but I think to a large extent my design was constrained by what the ship needed to do. Even if it wasn't quite 100% constrained by that. Where does this land? It's in here somewhere. Probably about here. I mean, not it actually matters exactly where I put it. Let's put it there. Bloop. Right. So, finished. Question is, what do we do? Oh yeah, I was going to have a little bit of a mess around with some of these walls, wasn't I? And just see what taking out some of these bits does to my stress level. And then I'll fill in the gaps with some spaceship floor like this and like this, and then obviously wall across there and there. Stress is up here. Stress is 3991. Let's check it again. No, I'm not going to go off and do the archaeological ending because I believe that would take quite a long time, and I want to start playing 0.6 with Factorio. So no, not going to do that. I was gone down 4 from doing that. Okay, so that's interesting. Take this bit out as well because that's narrower than it should be. As is up here. So yeah, I can tweak the shape of the ship around quite a lot, and it makes minor differences to the stress levels, but I think at this point it's obviously not worth it because I've done it. But I'm just sort of curious. Did that go down or up? I think it went down a bit further. Let's extend this bit down a bit further because I believe rather you get a certain amount of floor space free in a spaceship as well to try and discourage you from just filling the entire damn thing up with walls. 3985, 3984, so that's gone down a tiny bit from that as well. So it's basically to discourage you from having all these silly little holes in ships because they look absolutely ridiculous. So let's get rid of all of this, put some more floor in the middle and see what happens from that. 10%, okay. Now it'd be nice if it told me how much of that I'd used, but maybe will it? 94.5. 3980. So yeah, we're still improving the ship essentially by removing walls. Then that's what I'm doing, and that's getting me closer to my 10% free space. So this ship will now actually be a little bit faster. Not that I need that because I don't need. it was going quite fast enough, and I suspect the faster it went, the more difficulty it would have with the meteorites that were coming in. I think removing all of the holes inside would be taking a sensible idea and going too far with it. I have to admit, I'm not certain though. Which is why I'm just going in and trimming these holes down to sort of more efficient shapes. So we'll put this across there like that and like that. 3980 to 3973, so it's still getting better. I wish I put slightly fewer holes in the ship now actually, because this has all been a bit silly and a bit of a waste of time apparently. I could take out one of these big holes up here perhaps. 3973, 39. No, see now it's gone back up again now. So I've run out. So that was slightly too much hole removal. I've clearly gone over the 10% of free floor, so I could add a little bit more hole in there and try and find the exact sweet spot for it. But basically, this is about the best I can make this ship. Let's, because I can go up one more square like that, and then actually probably that is the best shape. Going to be the best shape. I don't know. I just want to get down to that 3970-ish something again. 3974. Okay, I think that's probably the best I can get without going around and removing bits of equipment from the ship. So good. I think that's gone well. So there's a few things a few sort of choices of what to do now. If anyone has any questions about the base or wants to see how things are working, or thinks I should go around and maybe start trying to fix some of these problems, then I could consider doing that. Or I could go off and join the rest of the gang playing Minecraft for a little while, have a little bit of variety in the stream. I could stop and go off and make some videos to be launched next week. I suppose that's another possibility. Yeah, does anyone have any preferences? I can leave it up to you guys to an extent, I suppose. Minecraft would probably be the most sociable, because then I can go and join the other guys. But I mean, I know that Minecraft is generally a less popular stream than Factorio, so yeah, who knows how that would go. What does my Naquium transport look like? Right, okay, let's have a look at that in 1 second. I'm just going to chuck these back in the system over here to be refilled. So put those in there. Right. So Naquium comes in a number of stages. In Realm of Shadows, I've got a number of Naquium mines, and these are exactly as you'd expect. They're a station. Well, they've got no power at the moment. No power, interesting. So they've got a station that where we bring in trains come in to bring in the sulfuric acid, and they take the naquitite away. That all gets brought over here, unloaded at this station, which is not happening at the moment because we've run out of power. But yeah. And then unloaded into here, where it gets crushed, turned into crushed naquium. And the reason I've done this is because it takes 10 crushed naquitites to make one. Sorry, it takes 10 naquitite to make one crushed naquitite, and this means you can transport 10 times as much of it in the same size spaceship. You can't. It means you don't get to put any productivity modules into it, but it's better. But I still reckon that was worth it, because then you can transport 10 times as much of it. So the next stage after that is we have a ship like this one flies over there. And this has 6 warehouses in it, and it's bringing out sulfur and iron to be made into the sulfuric acid to do the mining stuff. And it's got some iron engines on the back, so it's reasonably quick. I use a beam receiver as a thermal battery for these ships, because that carries enough power to power the ship for its flight out to Realm of Shadows and Realm of Shadows itself, and to get back again. And it's 12 seconds away, so I'm going to keep watching this as it arrives, because this is vaguely relevant. I will answer Metbar's question though. Yes, a floor with a wall on it causes less hull stress than a floor, except when you've got except your first 10% of your space being floor is free. So yeah, so there's a bit of a balancing act between those two. So this arrives, it unloads the sulfur and the iron out of the top here, which goes down into storage down here, gets turned into acid, etc., etc. We also then pump in water here. Water goes into here, where it gets boiled in by the heat exchanger down here, and then that really hot steam then goes out of here, fills up all of these tanks over here, which then powers this system, and this is what powers everything out here on Realm of Shadows. We then have all the naquium crushing that's going on up here. It will eventually kick in and start working happily. The crushed naquitite comes down here, goes into these warehouses, and in theory, if the system is working properly, there'll be enough crushed naquitite in these warehouses that when the ship arrives, it'll just all flow straight across into the ship, and then the ship will just load straight up and then be able to leave again. So there are 3 ships currently doing this route. They then fly all the way over to Norvis orbit, and over here they land in this space here. The crushed naquitite gets dumped out into these warehouses. Then these ships turn up. And these ones unload the naquium ingots, but we'll get back to that in a minute. And they fill up with crushed naquitite as well. Once they're full, they fly off to Tulip. They land here, where they unload the crushed naquitite into this warehouse and then on into the processing system. It's processed as naquitite is up here, which converts about, I think it converts, it's something like every 43 pieces of crushed naquitite turn into one naquium ingot, although it's slightly better than that because we've got productivity modules in just about everything around here, so it's a bit more effective than that would imply, but not enormously so. Flows down into a storage warehouse and then into this ship. So when this ship has unloaded all of its crushed naquitite, it will then take off with as much naquium as it is acquired. It then, as I said, flies back to Norvis orbit, where it lands here, then it unloads it here, dumps it straight into this warehouse, where the trains can then come along, pick it up, and take it off to wherever it's needed. So that's the naquium transport. Hardest part of space exploration? It's a good question. Now, the first answer that leapt to mind was arcospheres, because they're very complicated. They require you to think about things in a very different way from everything else in Factorio. So this is probably one of the most, I think this is probably the most complex thing, and it's the part that required the most sort of thinking about. But I'd say the part that's actually the hardest is the supply of, is keeping enough naquium coming through. And one of the big reasons well, there's two reasons why naquium is so difficult. One is that it's extremely voluminous, so the opposite of dense. It doesn't pack down nicely at all. You have to carry absolutely, it only stacks up to 10 at each of the stages, and then, as I was saying earlier, it condenses down something like a ratio of something like 43:1 when you finally do process it from the crushed to the ingots. So you have enormous spaceships, enormous quantities of the stuff being transported, or enormous volumes of the stuff being transported, but it doesn't actually make all that much of the actual metal. Now, the other reason it's difficult is because there's so many stages that it goes through in the processing on that I'm doing over on Tulip. So here we've got quite a few stages. So it goes from naquitite to crushed naquitite, crushed to washed, washed to powder, and then powder to ingots. It's not so bad. That's fairly similar to some of the others. But the part that makes it difficult is the sheer quantity of other stuff that it requires, specifically vitalic acid. Now you can see here we've got an enormous flood of this stuff going in. Now most of the other things, when you're making, for example, down here where we're making the whichever stage of Vitamelange spice here, you've got quite a bit of this flowing in, but then the vulcanite that's going in there as well is going in very, very slowly. So yeah, it requires lots of the thing you're making, but not so much of the extra catalyst. Whereas naquium in 0.5 requires absolutely phenomenal amounts of vitalic acid, and in 0.6 it requires an amount, and I don't know how bad this is yet because I haven't played 0.6, but it requires all of the exotic materials in order to produce it. And so because it requires so much, I've got literally 2 solid blue belts of Vitamelange coming in, and that is literally all of that is going into making the vitalic acid in order to make naquium. So those are the 2 reasons why I'd say naquium is the hardest part. Now, going through the game, it does gradually ramp up as you go through. So it gets the 2 things I've just mentioned are both basically end game things. They're the arcospheres, especially. They're the thing you need to develop for the last sort of 2 types of 2 science packs, and naquium you need a little bit of it for the last 4, and you need a lot of it for the last 2. So it ramps up and the difficulty gets gradually harder and harder. So I think that's quite good. You get that sort of gradual increase in difficulty. There are quite a lot of points in the game where it steps up in difficulty, and I believe that's something that Arundel, the author of the mod pack, has been trying to work on. He's been trying to make the difficulty curve smoother, so it gets so that rather than having jumps in difficulties, you have a much smoother experience. So you don't have that sort of sudden burst of difficulty when you try and make biological science 1, for example. That was or when you make material science 1, you suddenly realize you've got to deal with enormous quantities of scrap. So the challenge, there are each stage has its own challenges, but definitely I'd say the hardest ones are creating naquium and arcospheres, although they're difficult in very, very different ways. With the space elevator, yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that'll make it easier or harder, because it means it removes the fuel requirement. It's going to remove the fuel requirement for spaceships to an extent, which is going to make things a bit easier because of that. But on the other hand, it's going to add in whatever the running cost of a space elevator is, and also cramming stuff into trains. So the interesting thing is, one of these warehouses takes 500 stacks, and if we have a look at one of my chunk ships like this one, This ship has a couple of trains on it, and I'm using trains for these because it seemed like an entertaining idea, and because the plan was this would mean that the ship would be able to unload much more quickly on Norvis, because 2 trains leaving is much quicker than everything being pumped out down a single belt. Now, the downside of this is that all of these wagons between them store 400 stacks, and that is slightly less than one warehouse. So this ship is probably twice as big as one like please hold. It's about twice as big as one of these, but it has slightly less capacity. So yeah, they're having the trains on the ships is fun. Don't get me wrong, and it does give you some entertaining things you can do. Like here, I've got about 6 different things on this train on these trains, and I've done some clever circuit conditions and so on to make the trains arrive and leave when any one of the one of the components they're carrying runs out. So yeah, it's quite nice. You can do some interesting stuff with it, but they're a bit of a silly idea in a number of ways. How much is in these? Yeah, so this is going to fill up this one wagon, and then it's going to empty these two of the whatever it is. Not working with LTN isn't so much of an issue. I mean, I think what it means you'll probably end up doing is having a system that loads your space elevator trains will be separate from your LTN trains, and you'll transfer stuff across from one of them to the other. That's fine. I can deal with that. Yes, you see, these trains are automatically leaving because they've run out of refined vitamin, whatever that was, and then so the spaceship will now go. So I'm quite pleased with that system. You can do some entertaining stuff with it. And they're good. It was good fun to play with, apart from when they randomly break, and I haven't really worked out why that is. Yeah, I can't really speak too much towards space elevators. I've read the release blurb information about them, so I know they require resources to keep them running and a few little things, bits and pieces like that. But I don't know an enormous amount about them, so I can't go into a lot of detail. But I will find out because we're going to start 0.6 next month, and that means in about 6 months I'll be or maybe longer, maybe a year and a half. I'll find out all about space elevators. It's going to be fun getting there though. So yeah, I've taken over quite a bit of the solar system. I've got outposts in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different outposts. A large number of spaceships. I'm not going to count those because nobody wants to wait while I practice my counting. And generally enough of a massive system that it's dragged my UPS all the way down to, I was going to say 38, but it's recovered a bit now, back up to 60 now. So just having this open, thank you, it does. All right, having the Universe Explorer, it's probably because of this preview down here. If I select a neat simpler preview, no, it still tanks it. If I select a preview for somewhere where I haven't explored yet, how about here? Yeah, it goes up a bit. So it is, yeah, rendering that preview hurts your UPS quite a lot. You've never used trains before? What? Surely you've used trains a bit, even if you've not used LTN or you've not used space trains or something like that. You must have used trains at some point in your Factorio career. I can't imagine playing Factorio without trains. That's amazing. Oh, hello, Makomi, and your raid party. Welcome to the stream. It was 11 minutes ago. That's a bit of a shame. Sorry about that. I was not paying enough attention because I think I was answering questions about how my Naquium system works at that point. But do jump in. Do jump in with any questions you have because I've actually just got to the point where I've essentially finished because I've so yes, I've been playing space exploration 0.5 for almost 2 years now. It's about 530 hours of game time, and I've just achieved the spaceship victory today. So I built my obscenely large obscenely large victory ship here that's managed to go out for at speed 250 for 10 minutes and won that way. But I'm not going to do the archaeological one because what's the train of thought? Yeah, because I want to get on and start 0.6 week after next, and with Crastorio as well. So that's going to be very interesting. Oh, finished tier 1 science. Well done. Sounds like you're getting on quite quickly then, because it's not been out all that long. But I guess most people who play this play quite a lot more than I do. I tend to only play for 3 or 4 hours once a week on the stream, and then the rest of my time is filled up with other stuff. So yeah, well done though. Core mining into chests and spaceships directly. Okay. Yeah, I mean you don't need to put spaceships on trains on spaceships, but you do need to use trains somewhere on your home planet and in space and stuff, don't you? Or at least I think you do. I mean, I've got I mean, yeah, you need trains to get your stuff around your world. Yeah, the Naquium processing is a big old job. There's a lot of it. A lot goes into it. I think one of the more interesting thing, or one of the quite nice things I came up with was this system over here for the vulcanite related smelting. Um, okay, yeah, I'm on the Discord as well, but I've just been basically waiting until until I finish this one because I didn't want to restart in the middle of the run, and there's no way I was going to update because that way lies madness basically. Um, yes, and although you can tell how long this has been here because it's still using the basic beacons rather than the big beacons. Um, and I haven't bothered rebuilding it because it basically works. I could put better productivity modules in these days, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, I do have a large bus on Norvis. It's I started off in the traditional way. So, you have my initial ore patches were down here, and that's probably my initial stone patch there. So you start off with your miners feeding into a smelting array here, feeding onto your bus, and your bus grows out from there. Then you get to the point where you realise your initial ore patches have run out, so you put in some stations and new mines wherever. Feed into there into the same refining patch. Then you realise that your refinery, sorry, your smeltery there isn't sufficient, so you go off and you build another one like this, which is a little bit bigger. And then you train in the material, the plates directly, put them onto the bus, and then the bus grows and grows and grows, and eventually you realise that you're not making you need green circuits faster than you're able to make them in the area you've allowed for them on the bus. So I then have the green circuits moved off over here. This was the area that got hit by a coronal mass ejection, actually ripped straight through the chests here. That was quite upsetting because it destroyed tens of thousands of green circuits. Very upsetting. Uh, But actually, you can tell when I built this because there's no modules in here at all. We're using assembly machine 2s and yellow belts. Um, if I was building this now, I obviously use slightly better stuff and I put beacons in and all that stuff. But this has been okay. It hasn't. It's been fast enough that I haven't needed to upgrade it. So I just haven't. I've just left it there, which is a bit of a waste of copper and a bit of a waste of stone. But never mind, I guess. That's probably why I'm so short of copper, really. But yeah, I tend to move. I tend to have just sort of one belt of each thing on the bus. Although sometimes I'll feed in maybe an extra belt of iron, as I've done here, um, because most of the time I basically I guess the point is I use the bus for building buildings like here we're making well I'm here I'm making the inserters and things like that. And actually this particular game I am making science on the bus, but I normally don't, or rather I normally move science off the bus once it starts to take too much in the way of resources. But I science sufficiently slowly in space exploration that it's actually okay. Um, but yeah, so once the demands of the stuff on the bus gets beyond what the bus is capable of supplying, then I start to move chunks of stuff off the bus and start to make the circuits elsewhere and to go into the sort of the towns mode, and that works quite well for me. So yeah, you get green circuit production there. I've got plastic production um, somewhere. Oh yeah, plastic production over here, and so on and so on. So things get moved off the bus, and eventually the bus is just an extremely spread out mall type system because it's just making all of the buildings. So yes, that's my massive bus. Yes, Christoph, it is indeed done. I'm now free to go on holiday and then come back and do something completely different next time. Well, I say completely different. The next version up. So yes, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have indeed missed it. But if you scroll back, if you jump back through the stream, I'm sure you'll be able to find it without too much difficulty. But of course, don't do that just yet. Carry on watching because, well, now I should probably go off and do something else. Let's start Minecraft loading because that does take a long time. I mean, this is probably going to cause a few people to leave, but we can have. I'll go over there and I'll have a run around everything that's going on in the in the in the base over there, rather than necessarily going and doing anything too unexciting. So hopefully you'll all enjoy. You'll all find it at least reasonably interesting. Is it loading? Yes, it is. Where's it gone? Okay, it's loading. Anyways, but I'll carry on talking about Factorio and the channel until then. So yes, the plan is, as I've been saying. So next week, next week just some videos, no streams. Week after, probably going to start the zero point 0.6 and Crastorio 2 stream on Monday. There'll be probably nothing on Tuesday because there usually isn't. Wednesday will be I plan to start a Dyson Sphere program streams series. So that'll be working through gradually through Dyson Sphere program. Yes, of course we can have a look at the ship. Let's have a look at the ship and everyone go, wow, that's a ridiculous shape. There it is. Look at that beauty. Yes, I'm going to start Dyson Sphere program, which is a reasonably similar sort of game to Factorio, but I was going to say in space, but this is kind of already in space. It's a little bit more 3D, a little bit different, I think, but it's the same sort of general idea. So hopefully I'll take to it like a Duck to Merchant Banking, and all of you people will come along and join me for that as well, because you'll enjoy it, and it'll be everything you hope for, all the sort of excitement you're looking for. Thursdays, well, depending on whether Mike actually manages to produce anything while I'm away, there will be another GTA video, hopefully, fingers crossed. Friday tends to be there's often a Factorio tutorial on Friday, so there's a few or a tutorial, something like that. We'll see. We'll see what I have time to make and what the sort of the public demand. And then the weekends I like to do catch-up videos, just tell people about everything that's been going on in the streams. So if you don't have time to watch a 3 or 4 hour stream, or if you're just busy at the time when the stream went out and haven't been able to catch up, then there'll be a sort of a half hour that'll talk about some of the highlights, like this ship going incredibly quickly for an excessively long time, and that sort of thing. So yeah, this ship, I mean, it was constrained largely by the amount of what do we call it? Available hull stress. So as you can see here, I've got quite close to the maximum. In fact, I think when it flew out, it was about 3990. So yeah, I can't make it a lot bigger. That's why there's these holes in it. It's the shape it is because essentially you want to have a pointy nose. I needed to have this massive square of power generation to produce the 6 gigawatts that this thing needs and the little bit extra that the engines need. And then I needed to have it needed to be this wide in order to fit all of the engines in without them overlapping each other. And then these wings were basically the sort of shape, they sort of have to be this shape because again I wanted the front to be vaguely sloped and to give a little bit of streamlining. So it was sort of slightly enforced on me by the rules of the game. Essentially you put in this bit, you put in that bit across the back of it, and then you just put some wall around it and then pull all the air out to make it as small as possible. Oh yeah, and then you need to tuck in shields all the way around and lasers all the way around as well to keep it defended. So you'll probably notice that this looks very, very similar to the ship that I was messing around with endlessly yesterday. The main difference, I think, is that I've put these shields out here. I've moved a little bit further out and I've rotated them to point upwards, and that's meant I've been able to put more lasers in this area. And that meant this sort of part, this area was perhaps slightly better defended. And now having removed some of the holes in the ship that were here and here, I could have potentially put in a few more lasers and got a little bit more defense in, because I do have a little bit of stress left available here. I've got 25 and a bit. I don't know how it's come to 0.55 in there, but let's not worry about that too much. But yeah, I could have put in a few more lasers and had slightly better defenses, but this ship did it. I also noticed it's been renamed from the War Runner to the Terror Blade because I moved the spaceship console. Yeah, it was an effort finishing it on this one. I've heard rumours that it's possible to do it with 3,500. I haven't gone looking for proof of this because I don't really want to investigate. Didn't really want to get spoiled on the ship design. I wanted to come up with my own design for it, in much the same way that I wanted to come up with my own design for the Arcosphere processing over here, which I'm actually quite pleased with. Out of the sort of the 3 or 4 I've seen, I think this is probably my favourite because it's quite small, simple, and compact. Whereas the other ones I've seen have been bigger and just more. They felt more complicated, although they've worked in more or less the same way. Now this could, I will grant you, it could do with having quite a few more Arcospheres in it because, actually no, we have some of each, so it is okay. This is running happily. Everything is ticking over, tickety boo. Possibly, I think the main reason it's running happily actually is because this has shut down because there aren't any Naquium cubes coming through, because we're short of Naquium, because we're always short of blooming Naquium. Oh well. still, this was a fun little thing to explore. And if you're interested in sort of warping your brain a little bit, go check out my YouTube video on how Arcosphere processing works, because I think it was well, I think it was reasonably interesting, and it talks about how I've set this up, and it talks a lot about how the Arcosphere folding and inverting works, and what that looks like in the sort of the in a sort of a graphical format. So I think that was quite a good video. It's been reasonably popular, so I think a few other people have thought the same. Not as popular as the LTN one, but I think it's a sort of slightly more captive market. Sort of not captive market, slightly smaller array of people who are interested in it. Now this is quite interesting, comparing some of the spaceships I've made at various different times. We've got the sort of the early ones like this one that are basically a rectangle with a tiny bit of bumpy bit on the front to make it go a little faster. Then you've got this one with the ones with the trains in. It's basically the same sort of thing. They're a rectangle with a point on the front. Then there was this one that was designed to travel much longer distances, and I had a bit more what's the term? A bit more hull stress available to play with at this point, so I was able to make it a slightly more interesting shape. Then there's the jellyfish over here, which I'm still quite pleased with. It's a silly shape. It's just sort of it's just sort of a blob, but it's quite cool. It's aesthetically pleasing. Um, then there's this one over here, which is sort of, again, the sort of traditional house shape, because it's just blocky, functional shape, that sort of thing. And then this one where the function dictated the form so heavily. It's a little bit silly, but it's been pulled into that shape just by the requirements of what I was building, as I was saying earlier. So yeah, there's been quite a few different spaceship designs that I've come up with, and they're all special in their own way, except for this one, which is horrific, and I kind of regret that one, but it was sort of, I was vaguely planning to redesign it and rebuild it, but I never got around to using it. So yeah. Yeah, I think the functional ships like this one, this is basically, I think this is no, it's not, I'm not going to say it's the only way, but there aren't many ways that you can build a ship that will fit a warehouse in it and have enough power to fly with an ion engine, or even without actually, um, and fit into 500 stress. Is this 500 stress? Let's find out. No, wait, no, this is a 324 stress. Okay, no, that's not my very first ship. And I think the very first ship I made is this one down on Norvis. It's even smaller. Where is it? Up here. This one. What did I fit this one into, stress-wise? Oh, this one's 427. Okay, so this one's actually bigger. All right. So that ship I was pointing at in Norvis orbit, this one here, this is the 325. I don't remember what you're limited to when you very first make spaceships, but I suspect it might have been an even smaller one than this. It probably had, oh yeah, it'll probably been basically this, but probably with only one solar panel in there and a rocket engine on the back, so no ion stream tank. So it'll be basically this idea, but only about this long. So yeah, you can see there's I park these two next to each other, and it really shows off the difference between them. Actually, I think probably one of the more interesting ships, I don't know if you came in time to see it or not, is the ones like this one. Yeah, this one. This one's quite interesting. It doesn't have the big bulge at the back because I wasn't quite so worried about speed, so I thought, yeah, that 6 engines is sufficient for this. But it's still got the whole sort of power generation thing crammed into it, like into this sort of area here, and then a massive array of warehouses up top to actually store stuff. And then this was late enough on in the game that I was able to put shields in. And this ship is slow enough that the 6 lasers at the front of it there seem to be pretty much capable of dealing with all the rocks as they come in. So, yeah, not too bad. Now, the entertaining thing is it's taken forever. Well, actually, that's probably why I've dropped down to 30, 40 UPS. I've got Minecraft loading in the background, and that's taking quite a long time because it's a big game, especially with the Dungeons & Dragons and Space Shuttles mod pack dropped on the top of it. So it's slowing down Factorio. Factorio is probably slowing down how long it takes to load, but geez, this takes a very, very long time. Right. Any more questions? Any more things you want me to talk about? Because I'm a little short of ideas. I know I'll be doing a video that talks about the victory ship and how and winning and all that sort of stuff. And then I'll probably do another one that talks about just the whole system, the whole playthrough, as a sort of my final thoughts on this particular run before I start the new version. Those will be coming out in the next week. just to give everyone lots of stuff to watch while I'm away. Hopefully you've enjoyed the run up to this point, and and I sincerely hope you'll be coming back for the next ones next week, and of course you'll be hanging around for the next hour or so for Minecraft time. Aha! It's basically loaded now. So let's have a sneaky switch over. So if I drop Factorio, oh, hang on, wait, oh, like that. There we go, and switch over.
It's not. Where's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
Congrats.
We need more mana. No.
We already knew that.
Yes, you are.
You're going to be dingling for a while, I imagine.
You're not already streaming.
He was, and then he stopped and failed.
How is this still not full? Now it's got 360 in it.
What?
It's one ingot, not one ingot. Because look, this definitely says 3 ingot. Factory cell cast. You know, this and that. So. This is.
I am amused at how unobservant he is.
Right. Gordon Bennett. Oh yeah.
He's to the elves. Yeah. You can't.
The LTs say
It's
that.
not powerful enough to send you there. So. Oh, that's weird. The one on the pool near you is invisible for me. Yeah, but not the pylon.
Oh, yeah. Queer.
Blue sparks, yeah. But I can see the other one.
Double battery.
Oh, there we go. Microphone. Somehow my microphone got muted when I switched things over. There we go. I think everything looks correct. Everything looks correct now. Sorry about that. All right. So yes, welcome to Minecraft.
So this, as an example, you can throw certain things in, and you'll get other things out. So you could throw 2 mana steel in, and you'll get 1 elementium out.
Oh, so you can trade by throwing stuff through the portal, but you can't actually walk through
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a series of recipes that appear in NEI in the way that well, they clearly should, because that's how things
I
should work.
believe so.
Okay. Ooh, lag.
Elementium.
Why am I so short of health?
Yes, elven trade. Because you kept splatting. Well, jumping up in the air and then splatting down.
No, I
Laurence.
And you're hungry. So you haven't healed.
Oh, so I haven't healed. Okay, that's possible then. Elementium essence.
I can see the
So
temptation in your
tempting.
eyes.
So tempting.
How about no?
You don't even need the bow.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, elven trade. Piss off.
He's got These
Might
traps.
might just stay down here
Get him!
where it's safe and there aren't random psychopaths.
They're not random psychopaths. These are specific psychopaths.
Pretty random,
I
really.
love the
Yes, I did finally beat space exploration. I got my ship was able to keep flying for the required 10 minutes and get the spaceship victory. So yes, that was nice. Took a while,
I love
but
the subtitles for
Yeah.
the elf trading.
that does look. Yeah, those blobs, those pixels at the bottom here look like they should be writing of some sort, but they.
Oh no, I meant on the audio thing at the corner. It's got spreader shoots mana, portal whooshes.
Oh right, okay. I haven't got to.
Yeah.
I don't have subtitles turned on.
Yeah, there's those things. Majestic King got.
I'm deaf, so I have them on.
Insert obvious joke.
I had
here.
them on, but they were in the way of something, so I turned them off again. Ovium ingots, please, Tristan.
So what else have people been up to? Apart from
There's been
building
a bunch of
portal?
progression. We're into questline tier 4 now.
Okay. Are there? Ooh, that's very laggy. Are there any sort of interesting builds around that I should go and have a look at?
Lots of new machines in the portable and the personal crafting area.
Okay, let's nip over and have a look at that then.
Not really interesting, but just worth noting there are new ones.
Yeah, I noted there were some in the in my last video where I came in here and went, yep, some of these I do not recognise. Yes, the captain. We'll be starting a new series of 0.6, not next week, but the week after. There'll be some of the dodgy miscreants I play this game with will be joining me for that. So we'll have a multiplayer run, and Factorio as well to make things harder.
Has anyone found any ovium? I need some.
Well, there's some
no-
giant
I had ovium
chickens.
before.
They might be able to lay you some eggs.
That'd be really helpful. Unfortunately, I don't think it works that way.
There's
I-
one
I-
of the
That's a shame.
I'll get you some, Al. Give me a couple of minutes.
Okay. It's a thing.
So basically, you've all been sort of churning through the quest lines rather than building epic constructions, which I
Hold
suppose
on.
is very worthwhile
Yeah.
given the current push is to try and get to the end, or rocket launch, or end of game, or spaceship victory, or whatever it is you're calling it in this.
It's certainly not the end of the game. It's about halfway at best.
You
Just
know,
enough
well,
fixed.
okay, a something has been decided to be a victory condition. Although that said, I suppose there's no reason not to carry on
Sam.
playing on Thursdays or some other day when we're not doing other streams if you want to. I can't promise I'll
Yeah.
always be around, but
I'd say we're probably about halfway through this mod pack.
okay. I'm going to go and have an explode
Well,
since it's been since
what?
you've been doing so many
With
quests.
automation, it becomes you're halfway through, but certain things become a lot easier, and it's you can
What?
set stuff up and then come back in a while
Oh, that's what
later.
I need it does.
I suppose I suppose it's the question is whether it's whether the automation makes things easier or whether it just gives you another massive thing that you need to then work on.
The automation,
Both.
I think, it makes things less complicated, but then makes it time consuming.
It's time consuming to build up the things to do the automation. You mean?
Kind of. Also, the way that the quests ramp up. So we were discussing singularities before, where to make an iron singularity, you'll need something like 20,000 iron, which obviously, if you were getting that manually, would take years. So you automate it, so you'd have to do it, but nonetheless, it still takes a fair amount of time to build up that sort of reserve.
True. Yeah. That
But
makes sense.
at that point, it's one of those kind of set up and forget about it for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
He is exaggerating slightly. The iron singularity requires 2,500 iron ingots. However, the extreme iron singularity requires 18,300 blocks of iron.
Jeez. That's a lot of iron. Okay, so basically
That's nuts.
it's a little bit like the space expansion mod for Factorio,
Yeah.
where it requires sort of literally millions and millions of researches to be done in order to. It's basically a way of saying, I require you to go out and make an enormous factory or base or whatever you want to call it that is capable of enormous quantities of resource
Hold on,
generation.
Al.
Yeah.
Just produce massive quantities of everything.
Where does this come from?
Yeah, and actually, when you get to that point in the game, it actually works quite well because that's the point where you're then exploring different planets.
Right. Okay. So there's a lot of other stuff to go off and do while you're waiting for things to tick over and happen.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
found a lot
So
more than
setting
that.
something going that's going to legitimately take like 4 or 5 hours to churn through isn't a huge issue.
Al, I've just added
Okay.
5 more ovium to the system.
Hooray! I'm also going to turn this Galena into
Oh,
Galena.
what's wrong with my delivery cannon tutorial in 0.6? What's he changed? What's different about it?
Thank you, Tristan. Let's do this then.
Alright.
Next
I think I was
one.
basically doing the same thing as you. It's just that meant there were two in parallel.
This should be our jetpack. Well, actually, I mean my jetpack because I did it all. except for the Ovium.
Hopefully, claiming a jetpack will mean that everybody gets one because it'll be a quest reward. You do one
No.
quest, you get through a jetpack, and everybody.
Sadly not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Why is it not producing a jetpack?
Because you don't deserve a jetpack.
Because you missed
Solar
something.
light sounds like it
Click
should be
the
sort of
plus and it'll fix your issue.
That was the
And
plus.
Lawrence came along
I've
and
stolen
nicked
your
something.
jetpack.
Well, it wasn't there. Fight you for it. Why did it work for him?
Because I'm better, obviously.
Favoritism, that is. Well, at least we completed the quest. That was
All
the
right.
point.
I'll bring you a jetpack back because I
No.
seem to be able to soar through the air with the greatest of ease just by jumping repeatedly. To be honest.
Yay.
There you go. Tier 2 jetpack.
Tank.
Also, I don't think it had any fuel in it, so
No, it doesn't. I need to put it in here.
I'd have to learn
Well,
how
it's
to
going
make
to take a
fuel.
while.
Energetic.
Let's,
So it's an electrically powered jetpack, is it? So it's got sort
Yes.
of massive fans on
It
the
is.
bottom, I suppose. I mean,
Yeah.
that is.
Al, you're gonna want to invest in a battery charger.
yeah, I know. Oh, it's gone. There's a surprise.
I took it. I'm charging it way faster.
Oh, well done. How?
Tristan's a
Because
built-in
I have a
battery charger.
yes, basically.
Where do you plug
It's
it
at
in?
1.5 million.
I'm looking for
2
I'm looking
million.
for the socket, trying to work out where you plug it in.
Into this.
Looks mildly sockety, I suppose. Only very mildly. It's got 3 holes. Maybe it's a nice traditional 3-pin
Oh,
plug
you got a flux capacitor. I could make one
Yep.
of those.
for capacitating flux.
Literally.
There is also down here an energetic infuser that wirelessly charges any flux capacitors people have.
Ooh, that's a neat trick.
So
Well-
yeah, wander around and it'll always be topped up. Although now it's
Until-
missing however many million.
That's how things tend to go. I did wonder out of idle curiosity why you built your
Yeah.
what was it, the advanced alloy smelting thing, it basically through this wall.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that you can actually basically see through here, and I'm just wondering why you didn't have a doorway going through here and just reroute the cable a
I
little
think we
bit.
talked about that whilst
You can
they
get
were
through
quiet.
here, you just jump over.
Okay. Oh, is there a gap through there now? I didn't notice that. I didn't
Yeah.
notice there was an actual gap all the way through. So this is the official way in, is it?
A little convoluted, but
Yeah.
That is a little convoluted.
I assume Michael build an archway or something. I don't know.
Okay, so it's the fact that you filled in the holes, so there was no way to get in apart from sort of the parkour route over there, which I admit I hadn't noticed. It just seems
Yeah,
bizarre.
Ooh, charged. Nice. Must be worn as a chest.
yeah, Mike dug out a lot more here than I was expecting, and I
Ah.
then realised I could get out this way. So I
Return
just
to a
did.
bauble.
Right.
Hardened jetpack. Armored.
I'm making very, very quiet
You
boing
probably don't
noises.
want to make
I'm also stuck.
the armoured ones because then you can't upgrade them. Maybe.
No, you can.
Okay.
But at least the leadstone version in armored mode was an option.
Where?
How long are you taking on this craft?
What has Al been making over here?
I
Tristan,
bet
where
the
was that
Restonian
electrolyzer
block broke.
that you were playing with?
That what? Sorry.
Okay.
The electrolyzer you were playing with. Where was that?
Downstairs.
So oh, yes, and somewhere down here, yes, Al has been making this thing he's been doing. If you've been watching his videos, actually, if you've been watching my videos, I've been down here and had a look at this as well. This is a lot of lag. This is a device that basically does all of the 3x3 crafting you could possibly want. So that's I wonder if he's actually finished all the way around the bottom yet. Yeah, maybe. I think that looks probably finished. It's slightly hard to tell, but I suspect he's finished. So that takes up 32 channels, but will allow you to make 32 times 9 different 3x3 recipes, and those can be accessed from another system somewhere else as well. So you don't need to actually go down there to program them. You can come up here and through here somewhere and up again, I think. Oh, can't use elevators.
I could just pretend if that's easier.
Oh, this is the top of that elevator. It's this elevator I should be using. There we go.
What,
So I can come over and look at this
oh,
thing.
yeah, sorry, that
And here we have a massive list of all of the different things that can be made by all the various different machines around, all the different machines around the world, essentially.
Could have broke something.
Lots and lots of different things. So yes.
Well, that's Laurence, so he can't be doing
Why
anything.
isn't it working?
So you can't just say my delivery cannon tutorial doesn't work and then not tell me how what's different and what's changed and what's wrong about it.
That's why.
You need to answer important questions like that, the captain. Where'd they all go?
I knew that.
Let's go and find them again.
Shut up.
It's okay. People regularly use the try and use the marble next to the mixer.
I'm gonna have to go and babysit that
Oh.
again.
Pete's still
I
using
just saw
slime
a
slings.
laser.
How quaint.
What now?
Yeah, that's really annoying.
I was amused by the fact you're still using a slime sling. I've sort of given that I've moved on from it to boots of multi jump.
Yeah, I don't have any multi-jump stuff.
Should get a
Kinda sad.
jetpack.
I have to admit I can't remember where mine came from, but oh, you could potentially use the wand of my people need me. That was quite fun. Although you do
Oh.
you need to have a source of mana for that, so it's slightly harder.
I do have a
Pete,
mana
if-
tablet, I think.
If you make me a Feather Falling 4 book, an Unbreaking book, and a Mending book, I can give you my boots.
That sounds
Mm.
awkward.
It's just put the right stuff in the chest and provide it with some XP, and then
That's not
combine the
used.
books.
Oh yes, this chest over here. The tank still seems to have some XP in it. Can't tell how much from here though. And I've dropped down to level 95, probably because I've been spending too much time near that flower of XP stealing up on the top of the tower.
Oh gosh, how am I supposed to?
No, that's why I was looking at the wrong thing.
I'm not sure what to do at this point. I mean, I've been sort of wandering around looking at stuff, but I mean, I could carry on
Tier
with it.
4 quest line,
Yeah,
top
so
row or penultimate row.
could do some quests. So you think you're best to do the tier 4 quest line rather than the rather than any of the other rather than the
I think that
magic
moves
ones?
towards progression more.
Okay. So did you say bottom line or penultimate line?
I said no, top line or penultimate line.
Top
The
line or
ones
penultimate
that
line? The ones, the short ones.
haven't gone in and aren't the jetpack.
Okay.
Circuit fabricator or expensive plates.
Expensive plates sound interesting. Chrome and
Expensive.
titanium. Okay, let's have a look at these. Chrome plates are obviously
Gotta
made from
go
chrome
wrong.
ingots, are made from chrome essence. Chrome seeds. Yeah, okay, that's probably a silly way to do it.
Oh, I need yet another row of carpenters. Need a water one.
I'm guessing that chrome and titanium are not something we just have in stock, because if we did, somebody would have done the quest by now. But let's have a look anyway.
Yeah, there's some. Look at whether it can be crafted.
It can be chrome plates can be crafted. So I don't know.
No, you'll need to make chrome dust if you don't have any.
Oh, I see. So the chrome plates require chrome dust to craft them, do they? Let's have another look at the.
Yes, but there's a middle step you have to do by hand currently.
So it's chrome plates, which come from chrome ingots in a compactor. And chrome ingots come from, well,
Chrome dust in an industrial blast furnace.
right, okay. So yeah, okay. Oh yes, we've only got 11 chrome ingots, and we can craft chrome dust. Oh, I want to look at these recipes before I just tell it to make them. Can you do that through the computer system?
Yeah, if you tell it craft, click
oh,
next.
of course, yes, craft and click next.
It'll tell you what it'll use. Now it tells you the entire chain if there's a bunch of things.
So so you can make chrome out of aluminium, ruby, and more ruby, crushed ruby dust and rubies.
Technically not. The aluminium is a byproduct, or the chrome is a byproduct of making the aluminium.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Whichever.
It
will produce 3 cells of gas or liquid or something as part of it. Those it's not saying because I ran out of spaces.
Right. Okay.
Ages. Oh, come on.
Okay. So I guess I just tell this to start making a large number of
Okay.
those, and then go and find the.
Then
let's
you
do sort of
find that
numbers.
we don't
No,
have enough cells,
don't have enough cells, and I
which is
have some
fine.
more empty
I
cells.
have some. I have some being made
do this.
earlier, or had
Okay.
some, because I was going to
that's
tell it
fine.
to make 100.
So we've got 11 already, so that means we need another 53 plates worth, which is 53 ingots, and it takes.
That's 48 more cells available.
Cool. Chrome ingot comes. Oh, and it's blast arc furnace. Sorry.
Kristen, were you
Boring.
making ovium at one point?
Blast furnace. There we go.
Yes.
Oh, it's a 1-to-1. That's convenient.
Do you have it?
There you go.
64, 53.
What can I buy from the shop now?
Perfect, thank you.
Shop rewards.
Available 113, missing 46
Cells.
cells.
Hang
Let's
on,
make
I've
slightly,
got more.
I'll
48.
make slightly fewer and then empty some of
No,
them.
no, I've got 48 more. There you
okay.
go. The resultant cells, I think, will potentially get emptied and reappear in the system.
Oh, cool. That was why I was thinking I could do it a bit at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Metbar, I suppose, yeah, I guess if you tuned in for a Factorio stream, to be fair, so coming along for me playing Minecraft is a little bit, a bit of a difference, but still, hopefully you enjoy it a little bit.
24 cells.
Oh, okay.
So then it has to stop until someone empties the machine.
Yeah. So how are we getting on here? So okay, so it's churning through, making the ruby dust at the moment. There's 80 crafting and 380 scheduled. That's a lot. But it is gradually making them. There's 12, 13, 14. Right, let's leave that running while I look at something else. The other one of those metal, was it titanium? Let's
He's been
check.
doing stuff.
Titanium plate it was. Titanium plate. So once again, that's a compact titanium on a titanium ingot.
Wait, what?
You've just looked at tier 4, have you, Al?
Yeah.
And gone, oh, people have been busy.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, quite a lot of that's Pete.
I said Pete, yeah.
So Pete is being Mike this week, is he?
I was gonna. I said to the guys earlier, like, it's surprising how efficient I'm being when Mike's not around.
Is it because he stopped trolling you?
Or
Not
because
yet.
Pete stopped trolling him. And I wouldn't be
Yeah, it could be either
entirely
way around,
confident which way
couldn't
around.
it? Titanium shards appear to be the way to make this. Or titanium comb from the bees. Hey Al, are your bees producing titanium combs yet?
No. In fact, do you remember how they republicized and now there aren't any bees?
So you're saying that
So I gave up on the bees.
so you're saying
Could've
that
just
being a
put that-
Republican is not sustainable. Quartz grindstone.
Yeah, apparently.
Ilmenite ore from Galacticraft planets. Wow.
What?
You can make
No.
titanium out in a quartz grindstone out of ilmenite ore.
Okay.
You can.
I don't
It's
even know what that is from the previous run.
It appears to mostly come from titanium. It appears to basically come from titanium shards that you grind into titanium dust in whatever way you feel like.
Right.
Okay, thanks for watching, Bass Fountain. And yeah, I feel like my views are starting to drop a little bit now to start playing Minecraft, which is a shame because there's a lot of sort of similarities going on in here. But oh well. I hope you enjoyed the stream anyway.
Maybe we can make this.
We have the technology.
So how do you get titanium shards?
I'll just do some.
Where are they? Oh, there it is.
Titanium
okay,
shorts.
I'm not seeing
Hey
how
Pete,
to
why
get
have you broken this?
titanium. It seems to come from ilmenite, or possibly from chemistry. Is that a possibility?
Ooh,
No.
physics.
Magma cream.
Doubt
Where does
it.
that come from?
Magma slimes.
Titanium will be from titanium dust in the industrial blast furnace.
Yes, but where do you get the titanium dust from? I'm mumming and ahhing.
Small piles of titanium dust is what you
Okay.
need to tell the system to craft.
Oh, that's made in the industrial electrolyzer out of bauxite dust.
Bauxite,
There
yes.
we go. So I can.
Yoink. Hopefully nobody needed that. Tritonite. Whoa.
Take that. Craft that. So it's 4. Let's make 128 for now. See what
Pulverizer.
happens. See how
Where's the
it goes.
pulverizer? There it is.
Bauxite dust insufficient. Bauxite dust
And that being
insufficient.
noisy.
Empty cells. Well, the
It's really
cells will
controlled
come
focus.
around. That was a silly number I picked there, so let's not do that much. Let's do another small pile.
I'm
how
guessing
that
you're not
works.
working on this jetpack.
No, I'm working on expensive materials. Expensive plates, sorry.
I presume nobody's working on this jetpack because you need the one that I just made.
Makes sense. Yeah, it just sounds like you're the logical person to do that one then. Oh, we're most of the way through the ruby dust. That's going well. We've got 300 out of the 400 required.
Tristan, where can I find a rolling machine?
Over in the personal crafting area.
Oh,
Is there an interface on it?
No. Because it's like carpenters. So it doesn't work so nicely.
Erdeening it, hey? Well. Okay, so this appears to be... I've no idea where this is happening, but somewhere there is titanium being made, so that's good. And also battery
titanium dust.
Titanium dust, yes.
If you look at Al's stream at the moment, just to the right of where he is, you're so slow using a jetpack rather than the elytra.
I know, I'm double thinking twice about this.
Oh, the arc furnace is in the personal crafting area, is it? Okay.
Not the arc furnace, the industrial blast furnace.
Yeah, sorry, that's
where do they see me rolling?
Rolling.
Right up on
that one.
Rolling.
I kind of need to plug that into it.
Titanium. What was the other one? Chrome, wasn't it? Okay, so the chrome dust isn't actually appearing yet. So okay, we're still waiting for the pulverized aluminium to pulve. This aluminium pulverizing is taking a very long time.
Did you jump the queue with the other stuff?
It's not impossible.
No, nothing's pulverizing at the moment.
Oh. So there's pulverized aluminium queued up for 2 separate things. And it just says pulverized aluminium, stored 12, crafting 2, scheduled 92, and it's been sat like that.
Oh no, that's running through. That's not that. Okay, that's not pulverizing the aluminium. That's electrolyzing the bauxite, which becomes aluminium.
Is it?
Or...
Are you sure? Because that's the other recipe mentions bauxite. This recipe mentions bauxite as a thing in there.
Oh no, so that's the ruby dust that it's.
This one says it's ruby dust is stored, so empty cells are stored. Pulverized aluminium is the one that's green, and therefore presumably the one that's being done. It says crafting 2.
So stored, the ruby dust being stored that's available to craft into other things.
Yeah. So that means those 2 are done and ready to be used for the recipes, presumably.
Yes.
And the pulverized aluminium is the one that's trying to craft. Oh, it's just finished. No, it's switched over to scheduled rather than.
What? You're lying to me.
I am not.
Oh, that's put. Pete, did you leave a load of cells in here?
Unlinked.
No. Wait, where's her?
The electrolyzer.
Where is the electrolyzer?
Oh, yes, I put a stack in there.
Yeah, that was unhelpful.
Where is the electrolyzer? I want to come and have a look.
With the pulverizers and the plate makers, downstairs.
Oh, okay. I have a rough idea where that is. Very rough. I don't know where I'm looking. Oh, where's Tristan? There's Tristan. Let's try and walk towards him, and then maybe I'll find everything I'm talking about. Maybe I'm not sufficiently downstairs yet. Let's go down another floor.
It's down 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you walked away from me.
I did. Maps are hard, okay? I'm not sure why, but I seem to struggle with it. Hello.
Hello. So it's this one in the corner.
Granite, diorite, andesite, pickaxe. What? No, rock crusher. Industrial electrolyzer, tucked away in the corner. I suppose if it's because it's automated, in theory, it doesn't matter where it is. It just chugs away at it. So, what is this actually doing? What's the recipe that's happening here?
It's electrolyzing bauxite, and it has empty cells so that it can it will produce So if you mouse over the bauxite and press U, and then click on the industrial electrolyzer tab.
Oh, I see. So it produces hydrogen and compressed air.
So you
and
need to
titanium
give
and
it
aluminium.
cells in
Gotcha.
order to be able to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So why was Pete putting cells in it a bad thing?
Because the recipe also wants to put cells in.
Oh, got it. So it was full, so it
And-
couldn't. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, thank you. That is a slow machine.
Yeah. It's. I thought that had a speed up thing.
There are 4 empty machine upgrade slots, so I'm going to say no. It probably doesn't.
I could have sworn I moved one across that had an upgrade. Or maybe it was the Rock Crusher. 'Cause that does have an upgrade.
Is it worth borrowing the upgrade out of the rock? Oh, you
No,
don't.
it's
Oh,
a
you haven't done
different mod pack.
that. Yeah. So where have we got to? We've got 7 chrome dust, 11 chrome ingots, 90 chrome nuggets. We could make those into ingots. Let's do that. Oh wait, we've got 9 left. Duh. Right. What? Yeah? Oh right, I see. Those ingots and the nuggets are the same chrome. They're right. Okay, that makes some sense. Oh, no crafting CPUs available. I can't get everything running at the same time.
What? Change the recipe for the terminal underneath me. What the heck? Nope, must have clicked on the wrong thing. Never mind.
All right, so I've now got I've set 2 different recipes, all both trying to what's the name?
This was just a lie.
Thing.
Hey Laurence, there's a wireless terminal if you want one, because all of this was a lie all along.
What? So?
There's a wireless terminal. Do you want one? Have you got one?
I haven't got one.
Well, here you go then.
Oh, thank you. Just what I always wanted.
If you put it in,
I think Tristan might have got that.
Tristan, where's the
Yeah,
clock?
I've got it. If you wait 30 seconds, then it'll be fully charged.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, where's mine not charged?
Hey Matimus, well I've now sort of finished space exploration in that I've got the spaceship victory for 0.5. So we're going to be moving. So the plan is now that we'll stop playing that because 0.6 has come out. Decided it's be a good idea to try that instead. So the plan is that we will next week I'm away on holiday, as I've said this quite a few times. So you probably just joined. So yeah. Next week I shall be away on holiday. The week after that, we shall be starting a Factorio Space Exploration and Castorio 2 multiplayer run on the Monday. So that's a week on Monday, and then the Wednesday stream will turn into me playing Dyson Sphere Program instead, which is hopefully suitably Factorio-y that people will be interested in it and will enjoy watching it. So that hopefully with 0.6 and Castorio 2, we will then actually have the time and nous and so on to actually go on and finish it properly with the archaeological victory as well. But I suppose we shall see at the when we get there.
Okay. I need a block of terra steel.
I'm afraid. Yeah, it sounds like you probably can't have any. I'm afraid.
You have to put it in here.
What are we putting in there?
The wireless terminal.
Oh,
so what you can do
I don't have a
is
wireless. Oh, so I do.
you can take the mana tablet out of here, put it in here to fill up, because this one will fill up slightly faster, and then move it across into one of these. And each time you do that, as long as you filled it up completely, you can craft 1 terra steel.
See the top right thing?
Oh, up there. Okay, gotcha.
However, that
Right, so
takes
it's now
half
programmed,
a
and I can
tank.
So now you
So there
can
won't
use
be
it
enough to fill it up
basically
again.
anywhere
Neat.
because we've.
moved on
Fortunately, it's not a crafting terminal, but there isn't one.
higher tech stuff. I don't think I don't seem to need to do all that much actual crafting in crafting terminals anymore. Most of it seems to be automated. Sorry. You're welcome, Maximus. Yes, yeah, afraid there'll be. I'll get that into the I'll get sorry, words are hard. I shall make sure the video of me actually finishing the getting the victory is included in the catch up video. But also, if you rewind the stream a bit, you'll be able to find it there as well. So, and then you can watch from there if you want. I did a bit of sort of Q&A type stuff at the end as well. So there's lots of stuff going on in the video.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're making a hyperlinking card. That's horrible.
So
I'm not
No,
doing
that-
that.
The hyperlinking card was something else.
the Terra Steel, Tristan, can I
Yep.
do that through the recipe, or do I have to do that manually?
No, you can tell the recipe to make one.
Okay.
It should just work, I think, as long as there's enough. But until it runs out of mana.
No,
No.
because
Did I not set it up blocking so it would work?
no, because blocking doesn't work
blocking doesn't
because
work,
it's
okay.
dropped everything out already.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. All right.
I'm
Sorry,
having
you
the
have to do
same
it once at a
problem.
time then, I guess.
Having the same
Well,
problem
technically
with crafts that require empowered stuff,
Mhm.
diamantine and stuff. It doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Very bad idea.
If
we're in the
Pete
dark.
can get, I think, 40 Terra Steel without people nicking it, then he can make seeds.
Yeah, I can make a
Right.
seed and grow Terra Steel.
So what we should have been doing is stockpiling all of it when we started making it, so you could grow some. But Mike wanted it for strategic nuclear reactor purposes, so he ran off with it
Yeah.
all.
Sure, I can't pick that up.
And the other thing you can do is go and lurk near the flower of mana stealing up on the top, if assuming that's still wired into everything, which it probably
Assuming
is.
he has XP.
Assuming you have any XP.
I've got 65 levels, so I've got some.
Where is it?
I'm happy for it to drain that.
Oh, here it is.
Please craft that.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
the XP leeching is just slow.
It is. Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, it's full mana spreader speed.
Yeah, which is quite slow, as you
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Oh, you could make the upgraded mana spreader now because we have elf trading. I think it's called an elven spreader or something.
For spreading elves.
Yep.
That doesn't. No.
Elven mana spreader.
Which is the XP leechy seedy thing?
Pulse mana spreader, elven mana spreader, Gaia mana spreader, spreader turntable, water spreader. Okay, so there's an elven one in there.
Yeah.
Dream
The Gaia
Wood,
one's, I think, even better, but
Elementium, Ignitz ingots. More Elementium. Iron Promise, it always requires dark magic stuff.
Also,
Also Dreamwood. That was
Does
another
someone
pure
still-
daisy thing. Elvenwood log, which comes from throwing wood through the portal. Fair enough. That's nice and
Laurence, so do you
straightforward.
still have mana tablet?
No.
Interesting. It's gone.
Okay, that's fairly straightforward.
Yes, please.
Elementium Ignitz. Elementium and Ignitz.
But that's a problem. The mana tablet disappeared.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Well, it was in the pool, draining.
I'm
That
going to
sounds
wander
bad.
around with my wand on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you can't shift click into the rolling
Don't
machine.
Does this even require?
How have you lost it,
Okay,
Pete?
stuff we already have. Cool.
It was in the pool draining, and then I looked over, and then it wasn't in the pool.
Lawrence, are you sure you don't have it?
Freeze. Oh, I do have a mana tablet. Sorry, I don't know where.
Laurence!
How did I get that? Did you throw it at me?
No, it was in the pool draining. You probably just walked past it.
Oh, I
and
probably
picked it
jumped
up.
over. I probably walked over it then. Yes. Okay.
All right,
All right. Sorry.
We,
I take it back.
found it. That's good.
I just knew I hadn't. I knew that I hadn't done anything deliberately with a mana tablet. So I assumed.
Yeah, which is the drainy plant?
The pink
gonna
one.
hang on
XP.
that.
Pink one
This one.
here.
Advanced alloy plate.
The pink one
Pink
between
one.
Tristan's legs.
Pete,
Pink
you're
one, pink
standing
one.
right by the
Thank-
coal.
Thank you.
You want to come and double right click this? No, don't do that. there's no point standing there long term. You stand there for 5-10 seconds and it'll all be full and will run for most of a minute without you being there providing any benefit. Pete, you've left coal lying on the floor.
It's not my coal.
Isn't it? I mean, to be fair,
You
the End
picked
of
it
Flames will
up.
probably pick it up.
I didn't pick it up. You threw it at me.
No, you went and stood by the pressure plate and picked
Oh,
up the
okay.
coal that was
I
on
mean,
there.
the End of Flames will just eat it though, eventually, probably.
They'll probably despawn by
Right,
that time,
That
potentially.
is possible. How do you use this Elven trade portal thing?
Throw stuff in.
Throw
I
things
did that, and
into it,
nothing
yeah.
came back out.
What did you throw in?
Wood. I wanted some Elven wood.
That should have worked then. Are you sure?
Reasonably. Let's try again, because, you know, I'm not sure. Wood,
I'll watch
throw.
what happens on your stream. Okay, so you're using acacia wood.
It was
No,
the one
ink
there was the
sacs.
most of, so it seemed like a good one to choose. It
We need a
disappeared.
squid farm.
But
So you sent it to them. Hang on.
maybe they don't want. Maybe they don't want our wood. Our wood is no good.
Elven trade. Chuck it here a moment, actually.
Is Elven? Is it maybe acacia wood is not a suitable wood? Is it in the?
No,
but I thought it was any
it is
wood.
valid.
Okay. Do the elves
Oh, it might be because this mana pool is empty. Maybe.
Okay. I sort of assumed it was feeding off both of them, but it's yeah.
So did I.
Are you going to? I'll put some mana in it.
Okay.
Need a jetpack except for water. A jet ski.
Try to remember how to use this.
Just throw it in.
But is it in pickup or put down mode? Where's it just gone?
It's in take the mana away from the tablet.
Oh, it's the thing you. What?
You put
There
the
we go.
mana tablet in the pool. Hang on. No, look at the
Hose again.
look at the portal.
Hurrah!
Yeah, because it's now got mana.
Yes.
They're going. The items that you've thrown in
Are now
have
being
all.
returned. Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Cool. Pop. I might have put a bit.
Okay, so you
I
do
might have put a
need.
fair amount in.
It does need to be slightly balanced between the two
Yeah. So why are there two of them?
because it
Tristan, we need
said that you need two.
Okay.
We need a squid farm.
Magic, magic, magic.
Use the petals and stuff.
Oh, suppose so. Maybe it didn't have substitution on.
I told it to use substitution deliberately.
Oh. Then I don't know why it was complaining. Maybe it can't make.
Magic faster.
For your information, Laurence, you can also send them living wood, and it.
Oh, okay.
Basically, wood that's already gone through this step.
Oh, okay. That's slightly easier. Then I
yeah.
might do that next time. Stop twinkling and just be twinkled.
Because then, yeah, you wouldn't have to wait for this step afterwards.
Yeah, since that would make a lot of sense given that we've got the automated living wood now. But okay. Oh well. I'm not sure what else. Right, let's words. So.
Do we have any more endoflames somewhere?
I don't think so, but I'm saying that in a very I'm not sure voice. Magenta laser lens.
4.
Is a laser lens. Ooh.
How do I make this go?
Laurence, there's loads more appearing.
Cool.
In the portal. I don't know.
Remember how many I needed now.
About,
Oh, quite a lot.
The rolling machine.
5,
How do I make
10,
it actually
16.
roll?
it should if the recipe's correct.
Seems correct.
look it up and press the plus?
There's no plus. You cannot press a plus.
Oh,
Is that enough? No, it's 14.
okay, go back to the.
Data storage circuit. Yeah. S1000. Sorry, elite control circuit. Advanced PCB.
Right.
Elite component. Elite component.
Okay.
Advanced PCB.
Where was I? Oh yes,
S1000. Elite control circuit.
laser lens.
Yeah, that was correct. Go. Begin.
Nope. I might have one of those downstairs though. Let's go and check. I was definitely messing around with laser lenses a while back, and I made more than I needed because it was a multiple recipe thing. Oh yeah, there we go. Got a lime one, so I can mix that with a magenta leaf, or the remains of a magenta leaf, which is that one. Oops, didn't mean a stack, but never mind.
There you go, Pete. I've added 50% to the production rate.
Fantastic, thank you.
Do I have a mescaline?
We're going to run out of
Do
bloodwax coal soon.
that.
I'm going to boost that.
And that.
Well, I'll put this in here. Maybe I need to do that. Let's go for.
Oh, while I'm over there.
No crafting CPUs are available. Explain.
They're probably all being used.
That seems reasonable, doesn't it? The problem is I've kind of hogged them because I ordered some things that require enormous quantities of bauxite to be electrolyzed. So
Why is there
yeah.
a battery being crafted when it cannot be crafted?
For the same reason, there's a
Doesn't even
steel being
exist.
crafted when it can't be crafted. And the Erdene appears to be struggling as well because that's been there for a long time.
I think this rolling machine works the same as carpenters at all. Although what's the point in lock items if it doesn't?
Why is Erdene struggling?
Because he's
Have a look.
difficult.
How
So
do you make
got that.
Dean? What machine is that?
Promise acceptors.
It
Just we'll find
will.
The alloy thing.
Elementum. I've only got 2 of those.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know what you would have run out of. Oh, maybe magma cream. Which there is
shouldn't be able
loads being. There's a
Plenty of
bunch of magma. It's not
blades.
automated, but there is a bunch in the personal crafting area that just needs to be put into the system. I'll do that now. It's basically
Oh, mana
magma
steel.
block in
Okay.
the
It's not doing
pulverizer.
it.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be preventing it from running because you shouldn't be able to tell it to run unless it's got all the stuff.
Don't know.
Yeah, this
right, I've
doesn't
just
work.
put like 4 stacks in, so that should sort the Erdene out now.
Let's mute them and then I can, or mute me for them because then I can talk about what I'm doing quite a bit. So now this is sort of working, and I've got lots of this elven wood coming through. That was a bit of a got a little bit carried away with that. Sorry guys, but never mind. So I now check that mana steel through, and wood comes back. That's not great. This is clearly trying to catch up with the stack of the other stuff I put through, which is 25 plus 14 is 29, 39. Oh dear, there's going to be a lot of. Oh no, there's a couple of ingots. Excellent, and another one. Maybe some of it despawned. Maybe some of the wood despawned then. That's kind of okay. Not ideal, but kind of okay. We've got 3, and I needed 3, but I thought I'd check through enough stuff to get 4. Maybe the elves are being a little bit stingy and just not returning stuff as quickly as they should. Yeah, I know we need more mana, but everyone's rude, so we don't get more mana. Well, mana's a... Oh, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Laurence, we need Terra Steel.
Talk to Mike. He's the one who used it all up. Compact.
Oh, does it? Maybe it has a. You have to have a minimum stock. Maybe it doesn't use the last one. So if you tell it to craft another, maybe cancel the one that's.
Can't now. I've run out of.
Well, cancel the one that's running.
Nom, 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 nom. Right, so there we go. Compacting down the whatever that metal was called, the elementium. The iron promise acceptors, I reckon I've either got or I can get quickly. Ignits is more of a problem though. How do we make ignits? Ignit's block, sure, that's not helpful. Ignit's dust.
You crashed
I
the server, Pete.
Don't think there's any Ignit's anywhere.
No, I
Casting,
into the Twilight
yeah,
Forest.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh right, that's why this.
Ignit's
there's
dust, Ignit's
flag.
spelter, Ignit's dust, unhelpful. Factorizer, Ignit's nugget,
Were you
still
just
unhelpful.
jumping around all over the place, killing time?
Arc furnace, Ignit's dust. Transalloy smelting. Ah,
That's exactly what I was doing.
Ardite, Terax, and Osram. This might be the way to do it.
I don't understand
There's no
why
black
that
petals
doesn't
in
work.
the system.
Ignit's fluid, that's probably not going to help.
There's no-
So, Ardite, Terax,
Oh,
and
because
Osram are these things we have. Ardite, Terax, Osram.
He keeps suggesting he's going to, and then.
Ardat,
There are many black dots.
Terax. It's got Terax. We've got
Will this
and we've
XP
got
rate
Osram.
plan stop when it's gone?
Yeah.
Ard something anyway. Was it Ard? I can't remember what it's called. My memory, dear me. Ardite. Okay, maybe we've got Ardite, and I just wasn't typing the right things. We have. Okay, so I can make that. Nice. So let's put this acacia back into here, and this elven wood log into there as well, because I can use that later. Got lots of nonsense. Put titanium ingots. Oh no, we should put these titanium ingots
There's a lot of materials around the elf port.
in here. Is it just a pile of a load of elven wood?
Possibly yes.
Yes, I got a little bit carried away with what I put in there because it
Like
wasn't working.
iron.
Sorry about that.
You should collect that because that's costing us mana.
Yeah, I've been collecting it as it's been coming out, but then I sort of go, but then it sort of stops.
Oh,
And I go
right,
away and it
okay.
comes out again.
I've done it. It's in the system.
Thank you. Right, I'm gonna. Should I ask? Is there anything you want to tell me about using the advanced alloy smelter, Tristan? Because I need to make some ignits, and I don't believe we
In
have
before, don't.
So are you going to run a recipe that will use that, or are you wanting to go and put stuff in manually?
Any. Oh, actually, sorry. No, take it back. We have some. No, we have enough ignits. Never mind. Forget what I said. I don't need to use it. My plan was to go and put this. You can make ignits out of 3 other metals by combining in the advanced alloy smelter. So I was going to do that, but it turns out I actually don't need to. I've got the bits and pieces I need.
Oh no.
I know it's tragic, but I do have the bits and pieces I need.
There's a recipe for it as well. So.
Oh, is there? Okay, even easier then. I don't know why I didn't spot that earlier. Then I probably wasn't looking properly.
Oh, that's because that's not an option.
You can't put the wireless terminal in the bloody chest.
Iron promise acceptors. Nice.
What?
The wireless terminal. You can't put it in the bloody chest.
Oh, that's power, not damage.
Oh, okay. How do I recharge it?
You give it to Tristan.
That works.
Tristan.
Right, I'm just going to go AFK for a bit.
You put it in this machine next to Tristan.
You put it in Tristan.
Open wide.
We need a player interface for Tristan, so there's a slot that people can put.
Where are you?
Hiding
you
from you.
downstairs.
Here we go. This is what I needed. Yeah, the map is all very well for telling you where someone is, but it's only 2-dimensional.
Where does it go?
The drawers behind me. Either this drawer or you can give it to me and it'll charge faster. Now it's gone forever.
Gosh, that is slow. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. That's far too slow. Lord.
Right.
It was like 1% every 30 seconds or something.
30 is 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count fast enough. 40.
What did you want doing with this elven mana spreader?
Well, that was going to be to speed up the XP drain thing.
Oh, okay. So I find this. Find the one that's linked to the XP flower and replace that.
No, put it on in as a new one, and point it at the splitter.
Oh, okay.
And then bind the
flower to it.
What's name? Yeah. Because I think the thermal lilies are 1 each for those.
Really? Because we've got 2 thermal lilies working on one of the slow spreaders.
Are you sure they're both on one of the slow ones?
Not certain. That's a weird angle, but okay.
It's pointing down into the ground, I think. That's on the top one. That's on. Yeah, one thermal lily's on each. Because they will use it 100%.
How does this work?
I think you're out of sync. So
So do
sneak right click the spreader.
I'm not doing that. Crikey.
Sneak right click this.
I.
There
Okay,
you go.
there we go.
I
used to
don't like
always
how
think
it's
these are-
hitting this.
Huh.
I think you might want to put it on top of this stack.
Okay, I can.
How do we tell if it's working or not?
Disable this mana spreader by pointing it at something else, like the ground. By this one, I'm looking at this one here, because this is draining.
Oh, I see.
Wait,
But
what? Why is everything being drained?
because
Oh,
it's terra stealing.
terra steel's being made.
It's a very small blue
someone-
glow at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, to a certain extent, it doesn't matter. Don't put mana tablets. Oh, you're emptying in mana tablets into there. Okay.
Yeah. To try and get the terra steel to finish, because having it sitting there risks the items despawning.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was a request I put in like forever ago. That's finally caught up.
Shouldn't be, because then items would have despawned already.
I
And
don't
run out of
know.
mana. Yeah. Missed.
I know.
There's a nice backboard that you could
There's
throw
almost
it against.
nothing.
Yeah. I didn't quite have the range for the throw. That was the problem.
I can't find
no,
a
I didn't
single
mean
way
to do
of
that.
making
Give that back.
black
Sorry.
dye.
In the
I fell off.
in the thingy.
There's no good
There
way
we
of
go,
making
that
black
works.
dye unless we make a squid farm.
Yeah, and you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it with flowers gradually, but it's still gradual.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's-
you
that's
can't
done enough now,
automate the
Laurence.
pestle and mortar part, which is annoying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Why does my character
can't-
wave it up and down when he's just standing here holding it?
Oh,
Because you've got a
Mechanics.
ring of generation.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I
5
could-
mana stealing gets to go.
5, did you say?
Yeah.
I assume you mean terra steel.
Yes, I did mean terra steel. Sorry.
Actually, this is fine, Laurence. Because
fine.
these side ones are filling up,
Oh, okay.
it must be hitting
Must
the
be
splitter.
working.
Do we have any? Hold on a minute. What if I go down here?
So yeah, Pete, don't request more until there's actually enough in the pools.
Yep. Not quite sure how to check that, but yeah.
When the pools look fairly full.
Yeah, if you need 5 more, wait until they look about half full.
Okay.
Also, you can stand by the.
Hello, Dragon Gamer. Welcome to my stream. Thanks for joining. And I'm currently sort of umming and erring over what exactly I want to do with the in Minecraft at the moment, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Have you noticed? But I'm sort of working towards it anyway. So, have we got any interesting sort of wood in here? Acacia wood. That's quite a nice colour. Is there any sort of greenish banana wood? Interesting.
Because I've got to wander the forest.
Baobab wood.
Ah, okay.
Desert acacia
If
wood.
you
That sounds
drill away-
interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what the planks look like from this
it's-
wood. Let's find out. Well,
Now down to 3/4.
we don't seem to have planks from all the... I was thinking some sort of green wood
Now
would be
down to
quite
that.
nice. So let's have some of that.
Let's just stand here and go get a
And then
How much XP do you have left?
6
turn it into
levels.
planks. I can't turn this into planks. Oh. Can I turn it into planks with a
Right, I'm gonna do
crafting
it again.
thing like this? I'm trying to remember how to play Minecraft because I just don't really know what I'm doing.
No, wait.
No, maybe I'll have to go and find the sawmill. Let's go and find the sawmill because I think I want to build some sort of lid over the top of the portal to the Twilight Forest here because Pete fell in it earlier because he's a muppet. And if we can do that, then it'll if we can have a portal, then we can have a if we can have a lid over the portal, then it'll make it a little bit safer. So I don't know. Do I want to put all of it in? Let's chop it.
Make the machine run faster. in the blood infuser.
Make such promises.
Is that not how you? I thought this is how you
No,
planks for.
white magic stuff.
Oh,
is
I
much
don't know.
more-
Let's keep that. Let's just make it out of this wood then. Fine, I don't care.
Stop
Well,
making.
actually, not so much anymore.
There it is.
So I want some sort of lid over this thing. So I'm going to start off with not being able to jump properly, which is impressive. So let's make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to land on. The problem is the double jump gives you a lot of momentum in an unexpected direction, which is why I keep having problems. There we go. So I want it to be slightly floating in the air because it's slightly mystical over here. And I'm using a weird colour of wood for the same reason. Oops.
Use the thing.
So come out here like this. So this is the same area as the fence is covering down below. I keep putting these down in the wrong place because of course I do.
I'll just not bother making all of these crafting recipes. I only need the one.
And then I guess over here as well like that. I'll rotate them all into sensible positions in a bit. And I'm going to make this to a sort of a triangular house roof shaped thing like this because why not? Place.
All right there.
Place. I'm going to do it in a fairly basic and ugly way, admittedly, but you know I can tidy it up a bit afterwards once I decide whether I like the shape or not. Then the next one's going to be I nearly fell in the hole there.
What's my CPU temperature?
There we go.
CPU temperature thing go. It's gone away.
Some of these across here like this, and then we have another row across here. And then I'm going to dig out basically all the stuff that's underneath because I'm just going for a sort of almost a tent-like look like this. There we go. Pop, pop, pop.
Are you blaming Pete for this, Laurence?
Yes, this is entirely Pete's fault. Or rather, it's to prevent Pete having another accident.
I'm back, and just as I put my headset on, all I heard was, "This is entirely Pete's fault."
And
I mean, it's accurate.
not wrong.
Could I have some context?
No.
Why
I
is
see what you're
none of
doing. Yeah, that's fair.
What?
I would actually say this is Lawrence's fault because I was hopping around at a boredom waiting for Terra Steel. If you
I
had enough
refuse
mana
to
in
take
the first
responsibility for your Terra Steel habits.
place-
You could have gone and done other things.
Oops.
Well,
Oh, you're making sodium hydroxide, aren't you, Laurence?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go and steal a couple of cells of it.
That I don't think I have a problem with. Knock yourself out.
Nope, I managed to
Casually
land
referred-
gently.
we refer to that
Oh.
as Lawrencing now.
What do we refer to as Lawrencing?
Just going and taking some other person's materials for your building stuff.
To be fair, most of the time when I do it, it's because people have asked me to make something for them, like Terra Steel, or hey, go and complete all these quest lines. But yeah, I do accept that I do go in and pull out massive quantities of random stuff that people are may or may not have been collecting and may or may not have had other ideas for. This aluminium is
It's not
taking
a
a very
problem.
long time to.
I said it in jest.
I know. I was pretty sure that if anyone was actually bothered by it, they'd have said something by now, like please don't.
Yeah. I think generally if we're waiting on something quite particular, then we make a point of telling people.
Yeah.
So you would know it.
Not putting it in the system.
Even better.
Yeah. But if you came along now and just took 3 Terra Steel, then I'd be quite upset.
Do you know what? Let's use that.
The industrial electrolyzer appears to have run out of cells. Well, now it's got 3 left, and it's stopped.
Yeah, so it was out of sync, and I entirely blame Pete. It needs.
So I put some more cells in it, and then
Yeah,
take them all out if you ever notice it's finished.
Ow! I saw
It's
that.
fine.
But there's 3 left in there, so you think it would work?
As it probably needs more than 3.
Yeah.
So if you put them in one by one until it starts running.
Okay.
Bear in mind it runs slowly. What?
Oh, really?
Advancements.dungeoneering.born survivor.description. Well done.
Well done. That's a hell of an
Never known.
achievement to have got.
What did you even do? Oh, you
Don't know.
picked up one of the things in that chest.
I guess so.
A very, very specific one of the things in that chest, perhaps.
I'm pretty sure I picked up a slingshot to see what it was like, but it might be that because I can't see anything else in there that would be relevant.
Oh, 11, and it's finally working.
Oh, I was on mute this
11?
whole time.
That's weird.
It was probably earlier than that, and you didn't notice.
I don't know. I
Because
was
it-
being relative. It might have been 10, possibly even 9, but I wasn't. I was being fairly slow about it.
Tristan,
Pete,
the coal thing's broke.
the coal things broke. What?
I just looked
Oh.
over.
You
and
mean
it's
the
just
ender flame
dropping coal
feeder?
endlessly. Yeah, it's just dropping coal endlessly.
What
Oh.
have you done?
What have you
I
done?
didn't touch it. I've just been standing here on this little flower. I'm not even near it. I just looked over and I just heard all this clicking. I was like, what's going on?
Laurence, do you have your wand of picking stuff up?
Oop, bump. Probably. Why? What's?
Bec-
Where?
Because so one of them was here or slightly closer, and that means they group up like that.
Oh, I see. I do indeed have my wand of pickup.
Was it potentially picking up earlier?
No,
And
I've
could
got
it
it
have
miles
dragged
away.
one? Okay. Did you accidentally pick one up and try and throw it back, Pete?
No, I've not touched it. I've just been standing here on this little flower, doing nothing.
Methinks the PT doth protest too much.
Don't call me PT.
Okay. I like how they just happen that the pillars that I put up at the top of these steps, just one of them just happens to have acted as a support for this umbrella thing, so it doesn't look quite as ridiculous as I intended it to.
I thought that was intentional. I thought you...
It was sort of.
Oh, ah! I'm on fire.
Don't set fire to my tower. There's a puddle over next to the drawers.
It's fine. He'll die eventually.
Puddle. What's the puddle?
To your left, a bit more to the left. Yep, go straight ahead.
Ah, he didn't quite die just as he arrived. What's his health like? Oh, he has a bit of health left.
I've set myself on fire enough times to feel at least a little bit of sympathy for him. A little bit, not much. Don't expect much. Hey, the
I
lava's.
mean, there is a pool of lava there.
Yeah, why is there a pool of lava there?
Yeah, it's putting 3 out, I think.
Okay.
But I kind of don't care.
Even when that happens. What's actually burning there? Is it just grass?
Yeah.
That was just
Well, that's
perfect
red.
timing.
I don't care. Woomph.
Okay.
You tried to build up the fire again.
Well, that tends to be what I do when I find fires. So, where was I? Oh yes, I was looking.
That was amusing timing. I walked off expecting to drop down, and Pete placed fireproof block under me just as I walked there. Fireproof block.
I mean, presumably it needs 2 more because there are 2 other places that are just as close to where the lava goes. But good work nonetheless. Right, I'm going to go and have another look at that electrolyzer in the hope that maybe someday it will actually finish. You never know. And then I can actually get on with it. I might actually manage to do a whole quest while I'm here. Okay, oh, this seems to have worked again now because there's a big pile of ruby dust in here and a load of empty cells as well. So that looks like it. And it's chugging away merrily at the ruby dust. So things seem to have... Progress has been made.
Instead of that, give me a storage bus.
Tablet's gone. Laurence, have you picked up again?
Probably. No, not this time.
Oh, ignore me.
Okay.
Job done.
I may have picked it up as I ran past on fire.
When in trouble, when in doubt, run in a circle, scream and shout. And fire definitely counts as that. Ooh, I can see shooting stars.
Laurence, are you in the storage area?
Yes.
Welcome.
Can you
to
pick up
shooting star.
mana infused dust if there is any, please?
Is that not on
Oh,
the
we might
storage
need-
system?
Yeah, I'm.
Lazy?
Yeah, I'm in range here. I was thinking I wouldn't be.
Oh, there are a couple of crafting terminals up there as well, you know.
Oh, I'm outside.
Oh, right.
Okay. I just wanted
Oh,
to. I
gosh.
saw there was a quest for it, so I figured if you were just standing around, complete it easily.
Who's
Yeah,
doing
fair
the bottommost track?
Me.
That's a very fast huck.
Yes, it is.
Good lord, I read the description.
It's insane. But the fact that there's nether stars after it sort of suggests that it's a core route. So soon we have to go and kill the wither.
It's always killing with you.
Shouldn't we have
Jeez.
automated that yet?
No, I mean this is now it's telling us we should be going and doing that.
We're now at the point of the game where we are prepared for that.
Just need night back.
Do we though?
Mhm.
Next week you can swap me for him essentially, I guess, which will probably increase the number of quests done by quite a significant margin. That's a very square hole in the island behind Pete's Russian yacht.
It's Russian, is it?
Russian
Yeah, I
oligarch
assume
yacht.
that was early on.
Someone
Pete
going
or
after some
Al.
sand, maybe.
Wait a second. Oh yeah, I did that ages ago.
Okay, I noticed that in a video.
Forget what I was mining out of there.
Sand?
Sand?
It wasn't sand. I can't think what it was though.
Okay.
Maybe it was sand. I
Oh yeah,
can't
it's
remember.
lit up as well, which implies it's probably not natural.
I don't think that was Pete though.
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay, I thought Mike suggested that he did.
No, I lit up as I was going along because
I mean, that doesn't mean Mike didn't suggest that he did. but-
things kept spawning. It was annoying me.
Fair.
Put all this back for now.
I think it might be almost bedtime. I mean, I've got tomorrow off
It's
work,
quite late, isn't it?
but I am also quite tired because I've not been sleeping very well this week due to it being over 30 degrees
Hot.
at various points. Yes.
I've actually hurt my back because of not sleeping well.
Is that
Sorry.
your back hurts for some reason due to lack of sleep, or that because you didn't sleep very well you did something that hurt your back?
The latter. I kept waking up sweaty and lying in weird positions in order to try and cool down with the fan.
Okay. Why is there
So-
string on the top of this chicken?
because it stops mobs from spawning.
Okay.
You didn't expect a reasonable answer,
No,
did you?
I did actually wonder if it was that, but then there are also glow balls up here, so I wondered why there was a combination of string and glow balls.
Because the glow balls were placed first, but not enough of them, or
Okay.
something probably.
Okay, there are now fish and stuff in the system,
Fission.
including
Fish and chips.
very efficient. Yes.
Ah, it's Pete.
Not sure about the chips. That's kind of up to you, being the chef and all.
No, we've got We're making processes and stuff. That'll do for chips, won't it?
Chips. Don't know.
No, me either. This is still
Jeez.
just sitting here like a
It-
boring
Pete.
thing.
You know when you brought up the speed of the hook?
Speed.
In that time, the blast furnace has made 1 titanium ingot.
Oh dear lord.
Oh, have you transferred
so-
a load of powder over there to be made into titanium?
Please make me an X2000.
4.
Whole
That's
4.
not a load.
Okay, a sum.
I was standing over here using my wireless terminal thing, and yeah, just doing other stuff. And thinking, okay, I'll grab the stuff out of there to turn it into plates. Oh, it's still crafting.
This is all taking a surprisingly long time. There's chrome dust that also needs to be cooked into chrome as well, but obviously the machine's busy at the moment, so there's no point. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do that at the moment.
Is there any more titanium dust? Yeah, there's one more. I can throw that in as well, and then eventually there'll be in it another one.
Are these pools full enough to request a terror steel, do you think?
Let's have a look. How full do they look?
Get your wand out and right-click them.
Boom, here I am. I wasn't up there before.
I looked on the stream and you were on there, and then you jumped
Oops,
off.
I stole
I was
the
going
mana
to say you were
tablet,
there
sorry.
when I asked. That's
Where's
why I
Angela?
asked.
Borderline, maybe.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, yeah, it might be able to.
Then I need 4 more.
I mean, we could use we could put another spark on this one, and then it would be able to pull from here as well, and that give us. There's probably.
I'll give you one and
two.
a bit more.
Yeah, so we get 2 in total out of them.
But that's not all the ones he needs, and it would use up all of that mana as well.
Yeah.
So it's
But is that a problem? We're not making any runes at the moment.
it'll be left on there, and we'll screw things up in the future. But
Yeah. Go on, Pete. Make a couple of terror steels, and then I'll take it off again.
How many? Literally a couple.
Yes.
one at a time.
One at a time,
You have
though.
to make them one at a time.
Right. Okay. That's the first one gone through.
Yep. Can confirm. And it's pulling.
I'll wait for you to tell me when I can do the next one.
Just making sure. Yes, it is pulling from that mana pool.
2 of them, please.
You could water watch it in the computer system, I suppose, but it's probably more fun this way.
I don't think you can actually in the crafting station. It doesn't
It'll
appear.
tell you
It
when.
just says it's crafting,
Yeah,
and then
so
it's done.
So when it's done, you'll know it's done. And magic.
You can also listen
Okay.
for the sound effects.
Yes, true. It is now done. You can tell by the twinkle twinkle noise. Twinkle twinkle little terror steel.
Okay. Next one to craft is gone through now.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that in the crafting stations at all.
Oh my god. You can configure all of these.
Oh,
to
you
auto-input.
hadn't said they were inputs.
So after all of the effort I went to make the automated terror steel production thing, Pete is now going to end up automating it in a completely different way that doesn't use any of the stuff I put together.
Why'd I have to do each
Apart
of
from
these
having having needed to get 40 out of it in the first place.
I was going to say that's
work.
not going to be for a while, considering it's taken
Okay.
most of the evening to get 5.
How many
That's
do you
good enough.
need?
40.
I see.
At the moment, I need 9 to make a block. But yeah, for the seeds, I need 40.
Are you saving
And that's
up for
another 40 on top.
Are you saving up for the 40, or are you going to go for the block first?
No, I need the block. The 40's in addition to.
Right. It might be a case of we make 4 every time someone comes on and leave it
Yeah.
chunk loaded, I guess.
It's probably
It is chunk loaded, so
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, it's make 4 every 4 a couple of times a day. That extra one the third one you put in is struggling. All the mana is gone.
I can.
Is this input or output?
It's turned green at least.
True. Yeah,
Which
maybe
means
it's
it's
nearly
most
done.
of the way through. It reaching the middle might be it done, or it might be one more.
Do you mean it reaching the middle?
Dump a
That
little bit of
they
mana in here.
pulse out and in again
Oh, gotcha.
repeatedly, and it slows the speed of that down.
Guessing input is blue.
It is standard.
Is it? What is this?
What are these standards of which you speak?
Power. Okay.
What's that? Oh, I see. So all of the mana from the Ender Flames is being pumped into the Elven trading thing.
Not all of it. So that one is pretty slow. It's a lot slower than the ones feeding that pool. So that pool, if Pete didn't have the tablet in there, that pool
Okay,
would be filling up.
Pool would fill up, and yeah, okay. Yeah, it will be slow.
It's working.
Slow to the distance, I guess.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
So is it it has to have one left? Or
So you have to click on every single damn slot and tell it to input.
but you have to have one
Oh
in
yeah.
there.
When you lock it, it's actually these are real items, unfortunately, not a recipe.
Yeah.
So we've got well, if you ever need one and we're running low, you can just switch it off and it'll craft it. Right, I'm hungry in real life and I'm hungry in Minecraft. So
Oh yeah, I'm hungry in my. Actually, I'm
starting to
hungry in
get time to
real
call
life
it a
as well.
day, maybe. I'm not even sure why I'm bothering with this entire bloody quest. Look at all that crap. That's just to make 2 of these. I need 2 of them as well.
Surely it must be done now.
Nope, not quite. The green blobs have got quite close to it though, so maybe that means it's nearly done. We're not quite sure.
Need more iridium.
Where are you looking? What green blobs? I'm so confused.
Where are you? Can you see see where it's happening? Here.
I can't bother doing that.
This thing in front
Oh,
of
is
me.
it here? Right.
Yes, this is the machine. This is the machine that makes the Terra Steel.
Ah, I see. I see. I
By
was looking at the wrong thing.
specifically by having the precision dropper drops the ingredients out onto it, and then this picker upper on the side hit this side, picks them up again, picks it up again when it's done.
Yeah.
Simple. And then the ingredients are mana soaked.
Ooh.
This could be a potential problem. The ingredients are mana soaked over here, so if you do manage to use up all of the mana string and the mana pearl and the mana steel, there'll need to be some mana in this pool in order for it to kick in. There is quite.
That's the one he's
it's found out.
throwing the tablet in. So
it might be all right.
yeah.
I think you have picked that up, though, Laurence.
I think it might be time to call it
What,
a
the
day.
Terra Steel? Oh, the tablet. Yeah,
The
maybe I have.
tablet.
Yes, I have. Sorry, I'll put it back.
I'll leave this in my
Sorry about
list here. I might play some Minecraft tomorrow. Some of the Direwolf 20 pack. I want to stream at least once before I go back to work. I've had 2 weeks and I've not done any except for this.
Well,
Which makes me a sad panda.
there'll be GTA being played tomorrow, although we don't tend to stream that. Oh, your Terra Steel's done.
Well, I forgot about that.
Sexual harassment. Panda.
What?
I was singing that earlier.
Is it?
No idea why.
Small world.
So is anyone around? Are you up on top of the tower?
Pete and I are on top of the tower, which presumably you can now rappel up to in a single shot.
Yep. Hello.
That's crazy.
So I'll go back down into storage. Far side of storage.
You can do
There's a side of chicken over there.
Good lord.
That is a bit ridiculous.
That is outrageous.
Can you get to the personal crafting area from there?
Oh, hang on.
Or the top of Mike's castle? Oh, I fell off. One thing I can't. I'm not looking.
What device have you
Oh,
made?
top of the tower is too far.
Okay. Tristan's made an ender hook because why not? Well, because it was a quest actually.
It was
But
a
also-
quest, yeah.
I'm trying to go to the smeltery.
Makes
building.
sense.
Smeltery
I mean, I was
beltery.
considering streaming during the day, but
There you
also
go.
considering not doing that. So,
Yeah, I've often
I
wondered
don't really
about
know.
doing daytime streams, whether you get any sort of what it would be like, how many people would turn up to watch. Because I strongly suspect that at least some of my audience are American, because just on a balance of probabilities. So so a lot of it is going to be daytime streaming for them. But then also I think a lot of my audience are European or other sort of places in roughly our time zone as well. So because people keep talking about going to bed and things like that. So
Cool. That's interesting. The
yeah, I do
the
wonder.
wireless terminal works in Castle Michael.
Castle Michael.
Yeah, I put a stupid number of upgrades in one of the transmitters.
probably don't
What
need
did
the rest
that
of the transmitters then.
Probably not.
All right, it's late. I'm
Agreed.
hungry.
Yep, I'm going to disappear as well. I
We
think.
got a lot done, and we can
Yeah.
tell each other what we did.
Oh god, I don't know what we did.
We got
I
through a
think-
lot of quests.
I think if
actually.
it's just
really powered
filling in
through.
quests, then we almost don't. We can say did a lot of quests and point at the piece of paper, and go look
Yeah.
look at my quests. My quests are amazing. Give them a lick. They taste just anyway. That it was a Weeble thing.
Yeah.
My horse is amazing. I despair at your lack of knowledge of the internet. Yeah, so you can just sort of say look at
I saw
look
a
at all these
person
quests that were
in
done.
Marks and Spencer with a salad
Show 'em
fingers
with your
t-shirt on.
eyes.
There was an old man, well, a middle-aged man in
I've
Marks and
seen
Spencer who's
things,
wearing a
I've seen them
t-shirt
with
with
my
salad
eyes.
fingers. And I was like, oh my god, somebody else has seen salad fingers.
I think the most alarming part of that is that suggests that salad fingers is a thing that is aimed at. It would be remembered by middle-aged people.
Yeah.
We are
You must have-
middle-aged. I'm gonna point that out.
That's the thing.
What?
That's the alarming part of it.
Speak for
I
yourself.
forgot to use the yank.
Now, middle-aged is always at least 10 years older than I am at any given time.
Agreed.
So as far as I'm concerned, you're middle-aged then.
I
Close
said
enough.
at least 10 years older. I think you fail at maths.
10 years
I
older
think
than
I'm
Laurence is.
approximating.
My computer didn't go above 38 degrees. My
Well
CPU.
done.
So I think I installed that correctly.
Yes.
Thanks for being here, nobody, because I know nobody's here because I didn't have any chat audio for the entire thing, and no one said.
I've still actually because I think because I've just come from the Factorio stream, I've got far more people watching on Twitch than I've ever had before on a Minecraft stream.
Hello, new people.
Oh, hello, that lot.
please.
I stopped.
Nobody's
streaming.
talked for a while though, and quite a few people said they were leaving. So yeah, I
Bye,
don't
then.
maybe they're not watching very hard. Ooh, get back up there, right by the chickens. There we go.
But look after your chickens when you log out. Splat. Oomph.
Ah. It looks kind of pretty though. It's giving the chicken a nice halo. Is it all slightly lower than you? Oh no, you're on fire as well.
No, I am on fire.
Okay.
I'm trying to work out why I'm not taking any damage. I do have fire protection 4
Raining?
on my boots.
Ah, okay. Yeah, and it's raining on you. Hello, Al.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream.
See you, Discord people. See you, Lawrence's chat.
Bye bye, Al.
Yeah.
And in fact, bye bye to the rest of my chat as well, because I'm going to go as well. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of Factorio and a bit of Minecraft to give a little bit of variety, because I finished Factorio, space exploration, did the spaceship launch, all that sort of stuff. So yes, as I've said quite a few times this evening already, but in case any of you didn't hear me, I'm going to say it again. Thank you. Well, the obvious thank you for watching, and I'll be back. Well, I won't be around next week, but there will still be videos, because that's always because I like to keep lots of videos. I like to have lots and lots of videos available, and lots of videos coming out during the week, and then next week, the week after, I shall return, and there'll be a stream on Monday when hopefully we'll be starting doing the Minecraft with Factorio, oh dear. Factorio with Space Exploration 0.6 and Crestorio 2, so that's going to be quite an adventure. And then on Wednesday, I'll be playing Dyson Sphere Program. At least that's the plan. You never know. All plans last until first contact with the enemy, or in this case, my streaming schedule. So we'll see how that goes. But please come back for all of that, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Making those two.
Yeah. Did he not do that?